They'll be running the sidelines as well, so we have a little bit of a three-man booth going on. I want to remind you guys that the broadcast booth tonight is being brought to you by Mechanics Savings Bank. You're looking live from the Mechanics Savings Bank broadcast booth. Make Mechanics your bank online at mechanicssavings.com. And it's a great setting here, too, Coach. Under the lights here at Windham High, a good crowd, and we still got a little bit to go here, but can't really get much better than this right here.
This is one of the best fields in the state. Construction-wise, they really have kept really good care of it, and the stadium itself is well done. You're right; it's a good place to watch a game.
And if you guys are joining us on the video stream, thanks for joining us there as well. We'll have an HD replay up on the mbr.org coming up tomorrow. But as you can see, the players are still coming out here. So we're going to step aside here for a 1-minute break. And you are listening to the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA right here on ESPN 970 and also on Maine's Big Z 92.7. We're not going to be able to, I don't think we're going to be able to hear the whole time. So I'm just going to have to go on cues. And if you're joining us on the video stream, what's up? We're probably going to talk during the breaks. Hopefully we don't say anything stupid.
A lot's going to depend on what's happening on the field.
Do you want to come on next, Maddie, and just give it a little bit of...
Actually, come on now if you can hear me. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Just remember, you won't have the music going during the game, too. So.
Right. Can they both hear us? Okay, good. So this isn't good.
Tonight's opponent, the Bulldogs of Portland High School. Portland High School has elected to be introduced as a team.
And we are back here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA right here on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. Russ Thompson and Coach Haley, as Portland elected to get introduced as a team. I want to remind you that the lineups are brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. No risk, no upfront costs, and no minimums. Call Mark at 468-1759 and take the first step in reaching your fundraising goals today online at maineaf.com. And also we've got Maddie Beltwell here manning the sidelines here tonight. And Maddie, how do you see this matchup working out?
I think this is going to be a really tough matchup for both squads. So, I mean, you're looking at a lot of different things here. Let's take a quick silence for the national anthem.
And we're back here on the MBR Game of the Week on the video stream and also on ESPN Portland and Maine's Big Z. So So we've got lots going on here tonight, and we are just about set to get underway as Windham's going to come out here in Portland, and they're going to get the coin flip going. And you can really sense it here. A good crowd coming on. Looks like it's about half full here.
Late arriving.
Yeah.
They do. Traditionally, they do come late.
Well, and tonight, it's a 7:30 matchup here tonight, so I'm sure a lot of people took that into account as well. And also, Coach, let's talk about the coaches here. Coach Hartman at Portland, I mean, over the last 5 years, there's not many programs that have had more success for them, and you could say the same thing about Coach Perkins here. They've really put their staples on both communities and both football teams.
Both these guys have surrounded themselves with good assistant coaches. I think that's very important. But they run some solid programs. I know weight training is at the top of the list for both men, and that's so necessary in this day and age that kids have an opportunity to get in the weight room during the winter and be together, be around each other, and work as hard as they can. And I think that has added to both these programs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you can make it more of a year-round thing as opposed to a fall football season, that can certainly be a difference maker. Right here, we are live from Windham High School as Windham hosts Portland here tonight. Windham comes in with a 2-0 record, 2 blowouts, a victory over Lewiston, and then one over Bangor last week. Portland comes in at 1-1 on the year. They lost a nail-biter in the first week of the year to a really gritty Scarborough team, 14-13, and then last week it was close until halftime, and they blew out Edward Little in the second half. But I think, and we've seen last week we saw a little bit of Chevrolet, so certainly it seems like the cream of this Class A North is Windham and Portland. And do you think it's a factor at all that you don't want to give away too much here tonight, because you know that there's probably a pretty good chance you're going to play this team again later on in the year?
No.
You got to go out and win.
At this stage of the game, there's a lot of time left. If this were like next week, or 2 weeks that they played them in the playoffs, it'd be a little different. But I think they're going to pull out all the stops. I do. This is a very important win for both guys.
Both these teams want to get back to Fitzpatrick Stadium later on in a couple months here for the Class A state championship game. Portland was in it last year, lost to Thornton Academy, and 2 years ago was Windham that made it, but lost to the Golden Trojans. So both these teams with very similar goals here coming up. And we are just about set to get things going here on the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA. Wherever you may be listening, whether it's ESPN Portland or Maine's Big Z or on the video stream. And the kickoff, and it's a good kickoff, goes deep as Portland receives on the 5-yard line. Good blocking takes it out to the 25-yard line, still up on the feet, and you can see, Coach, it's already getting really chippy out there.
It will too. They had a nice wedge set up there, but it also Windham had a couple of wedge breakers that kind of exploded it. So I think it's going to be that kind of hitting. I'd be surprised if it isn't.
And they start off here, and it's interesting. Certainly, I think when you talk about this Bulldogs team, they've got Archambault back there as their fullback, Jake Nope as well, but then Griffin Foley on the outside. Number 20, if you're watching the video stream, he certainly is a playmaker. They toss it out of the backfield this time to the left for 3 yards, and positive right there.
Yep, Archambault they'll move him around according to the formation. I saw him throwing in pre-game. He's got a pretty good arm. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have the halfback option in their little bag of tricks.
So we'll get it going here as Portland very early on into this drive. They're going to hand it off to the fullback there. And coming up strong, that was Archambault, who I think Coach Hartman has said very great things about him. He's also a two-way player that plays linebacker for the Bulldogs.
He's a tough player. He's good.
They've also got, and so 3rd and 3 coming up here as Portland's been able to get positive yardage on the first couple of downs here. And hopefully we're coming in clear across the state of Maine. And this is going to be a penalty on the Bulldogs. So now obviously a 3rd and 3, that becomes a 3rd and 8, and you're looking at a totally different play call right here.
No, it's second, remember.
Oh, second, okay.
Yes, they get the down over.
So 2nd and 8 here coming up. And the Bulldogs have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left over there.
Twins out here.
Dropping back is Bachhelder, and he's going to get dragged down there. And coming in for a big, strong tackle there, Windham able to get a big sack.
70.
That was Devin Roy.
Yep.
And 3rd and long here, so it was initially a 3rd and 3 after that, before that penalty. And then how conservative of a play call are you looking at here from your own, 20-yard line? 15-yard line. So we'll see what the Bulldogs have. They certainly have the receivers and the playmakers to make it happen, and they're going to hand this one off up the middle, taking no chances. That was Archambault. Get a little bit more clear here for the punter as the punting unit is going to come in here. And obviously for Windham, a very solid first series right there.
Archambault is going to be the guy they go to the whole game almost.
And the punter comes on here and a very nice punt up into the air. And picking it up on the run, there is Blake Hauser. He's still up on his feet. Takes it across the 40-yard line. Strong punt return.
43-yard punt. Yeah.
And there's got a flag in there on the play as Hauser came over here to the sideline and was dragged down.
Blocking the back.
So obviously that's a big deal right there.
That's a 10-yarder.
You're listening to the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland. We're also on Maine's Big Z. And if you're online, you're listening and watching on the video stream live here from Windham High in a Class A North battle between the host Eagles and the Bulldogs coming in here.
1st and 10 Eagles from their own 21-yard line.
And you can hear very clearly here with the PA announcer. 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. Start off the Eagles. Interesting formation here. They're going to hand it right off the middle. That's Hauser. That is Blake Hauser, the sophomore Hauser. Also, Kyle Hauser, his senior brother.
His brother is just coming off an injury. He's back.
So it's good to have 2 Hausers instead of 1.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So 2nd down here coming up. And about 8 for the Eagles. This time it's Leslie. Looks like he's going to take it himself. Design run. He gains a couple there and sets up a 3rd down and 5 coming up. And Coach, Leslie's obviously a big quarterback that's athletic, but he can also throw the ball. I would say one of the better quarterbacks that we have here in the state of Maine.
You're right. He's certainly a veteran. He's done a nice job for the last 3 years.
Yeah, not very often at this level do you see a 3-year starter, but that's what you have here for Windham. Yep. The handoff again, this is Hauser up the middle, strong there, but it's not going to be good enough as this is going to be a short 4th down. And you see it here early on. This has the makings of a defensive battle really on both sides.
Yep.
Coming back deep will be Nick Archambault for the Bulldogs.
They're pretty familiar with each other, Russ. You know, they. I'm sure both teams will have something up their sleeve, but they're playing it like they usually do.
So Archambault is going to be deep back there to return.
Oh,
Portland going left to right here. He's going to pick it up on the run, take it to the outside, and cut back across. Nifty little moves there. He takes it out to midfield.
about 13-yard return.
As the Bulldogs will take over here in great field position. We've also got Joe Carpini manning the camera high above on our video stream. And Portland's going to take over here 1st and 10. And they're in Windham territory. The handoff to the fullback. He's going to bust right up. That's Nick Archambault. Good gainage there on 1st down.
See what they're doing now. They're using Archambault as a tailback out of the wing tee, and then they have him in a pistol in the spread. So he's in the middle of the formation, no matter what, which is where you want your best back.
And look to the outside there to the right. That's Griffin Foley, who they like
Same
to
play.
hit, but they're going to go right. Again, he gains positive yardage once again, and a 3rd and short coming up here for the Bulldogs. And it looks like Griffin Foley is going to trot off to the sideline. I think they're going to bring in a jumbo package here and try and ram it down Wyndham's throats. Beautiful night here in Windham. Under the lights.
Going double wing.
And again.
Archambault again.
And it looks like he got more than enough there. A push back at the end, but he gained himself a good 5 yards past where he needed to be. And coach, importantly, he moves the chains.
Oh, he sure did. He's, he.
And it actually looked like that was Batchelder in the scrum there that was able to get the push.
Yeah.
So I think this is what makes Portland difficult this year, is that they can send a guy like Griffin Foley off on 3rd down, but the very next play he's spread out wide, and the ball could very close yardage there lining up with him. This one's going to get handed off and a fake handoff there to Archambault, and keeping it himself was the quarterback.
Yeah.
That was a good fake too, but
Yeah,
Windham certainly didn't fall for it.
Well, they give themselves some pretty good keys.
And this will bring up a 2nd down here coming up for the Bulldogs as they're looking to get things going. We're midway through. 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. It's all scoreless here. Windham and Portland. Friday night. Bachelder throws that one, completes it. 2nd level getting out there. 1st down as that was complete to Ethan Hoyt. He's listed as an offensive lineman here, but I think that's a big tight end that just got out and running.
15-yarder, right up the seam.
As the Bulldogs move the chains here on the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland, also Maine's Big Z. This one's going to be another one up the middle. Looks like that was to Archambault. He gains a couple. It gets chippy once again, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So 3rd and 2 coming up, or 2nd down, excuse me, and 7 coming up. And again, Foley is over to the left. Haven't used him yet. The toss.
Option pitch.
And he's going to get in, it looks like, right out of bounds down near the 2-yard line. Catching it there was Zachary Elowich, who's another weapon that we've seen here quite a bit for Portland. There's a good read there by Bachelder, the quarterback.
Yeah, that's the play that they've been pounding away with Ashenbo all the way down, and now they run the option off it.
And Bachelder is lined up under center here. He's got his fullback. This one's going to go, and it's going to be kept there by Bachelder, and he fakes everybody out and keeps it himself. There was a scrum there, but he took it to the outside.
No, they gave that to the fullback. They gave that to the up man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Archambault gets the touchdown there, and 6-0. A very strong drive there for Portland. They methodically came down the field and put points up on the board.
They came off the ball really well. The offensive line really controlled that all the way down.
And Bachelder is going to be the holder here. And this one is up and good. A nice-looking PAT there by Quinn Clark. And we'll keep it right here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and Maine's Big Z. Brought to you tonight by Danielle's Sebago Diner. We serve breakfast and lunch located on 862 Roosevelt Trail right here in Windham. All high school football players will get 10% off. Find them and like them on Facebook, Danielle's Sebago Diner. And, Coach, that was a long drive there after Windham wasn't able to put points up on the board. But obviously, if you're Coach Hartman, you've got to be thrilled with that first offensive series.
He's a wing T man from way back, and he's not running the wing T per se all the time. He's running it, but he's running wing T plays out of the double wing with motion, so that the motion gives him basically wing T when the ball is snapped. We remember about the old saying, motion. What does motion do? Changes the formation, and so it goes from double wing to wing T in the side of the motion.
That's Coach Haley. I'm Russ Thompson here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland, Maine's Big Z, and also the MBR stream. Go to mbr.org for all the latest in high school sports here in the state of Maine. This one's going to be kicked off down to the left into the corner and getting wrapped up just over the 20-yard line. That's where looked like Garrett Peoples who was able to get that return for Windham, and they're going to start here on their own 25-yard line.
Both teams have good kicking games, so that's going to play. That'll come into play as the game moves along.
Wind is not much of a factor here tonight, so I think that's definitely going to be something that'll play into the passing attacks for both of these teams. And we'll see the second look at Windham here tonight. They certainly have a quarterback that can throw the ball. And he's lined up, and he's going to take it this self, and he runs into one of his own players there. Kate takes it over to the right, doesn't gain much there, but a little bit of miscommunication there on Windham's part.
The guy that he was supposed to run behind got knocked back into the backfield.
That's not exactly what you want to see.
That's not what you want
when you are blocking. So we got 4:25 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Portland came down on their first drive of the game, and Nick Archambault was able to jam it over the goal line. Second down coming up here for Windham. Leslie's going to go out to his left and make this throw just outside the fingertips there. That was Griffith Herbert. Hebert. And he was diving to get that one. Griffith Hebert. So this will bring up third down and about 9. Certainly looks like it could be a passing down here for the Eagles.
I would think that would be safe to say. You never know.
They've got a couple receivers spread out wide.
Good watch for the screen on this.
Now one of those receivers is in motion.
Yeah.
A high snap and a little bit of too
boy.
much going on there in the backfield. And coming up with a huge tackle there was Archambault. And you see what kind of a difference he has on both sides of the ball.
See, he's got great instinct. And they got penetration all the way along the front. And that ruins a play like that.
So we got 3:45 to go here. First quarter. And this is obviously going Portland's way early on as Windham is looking to punt from their own 10-yard line here.
All about field position, Ross.
Especially in a game like this.
Yeah, makes a big difference, boy.
We'll have a timeout taken, and we'll keep it right here.
You run your offense from your 20-yard line back, and it really cuts who can run and who can't, who can pass, who can't. It's almost very devastating, really, when you keep taking over the ball deep in your own territory.
Well, and when you have two good football teams, most of the time the game is played between the 40s.
Usually.
And if you have a breakdown or something, that's when you really see it. And it seems like tonight we're going to have that type of a game, even with Portland coming down here. But it's up to Windham now to get a stop and then to get the ball back and not let this game get out of hand here before they get a chance.
Yep. And it's a chess game. And the kicking game, as I said, will play a big role before we get done.
So we'll get another look here at Windham's offense, as it looks like that's Blake Hauser, the sophomore, who's back deep to punt, and a whistle will be coming in here.
See, just to show you, Windham so far has had the ball twice. They took it over on their own 20 and on their own 22. Okay? Portland had the ball from their own 26, but then had it from the 46.
Big difference right there.
Heck of a difference. And it's going to be the same now, unless they get a fantastic punt off.
So they're 5 yards deeper here. Hauser gets the punt off. Archambault is going to call it dead right off the bat. It's going to bounce, and Windham will down it right there on the, what is that, the 40-yard line.
They got it on their own 40 now. Not their own 40, Windham's 40.
Windham's 40.
Yep.
So 7-0, Portland looking to add to this lead right here on the game of the week.
Pretty short field right now, Ross.
And again, that short field comes in, and we haven't even seen any of Griffin Foley here. It's funny, Coach, I did their week 1 game, and this Portland offense looks nothing like what I saw in week 1. I think that plays into their versatility.
They haven't had to throw it. They're running it with Archambault. That was him again.
And he's nifty, gains a good solid 5 or 6 yards there on first down. Blockers got out and running there, and then it's up to him, and he can certainly read those holes.
He certainly can.
Certainly feel the momentum here early on in Portland's favor.
Well, it certainly has taken Windham's crowd out of the game so far. They haven't had anything to cheer about.
They got a good chunk on first down, so 2nd and 5 here coming up as they have been smash-mouth football here. This will be a toss to the right, and Archambault is going to keep it right up the middle and get strong, burst right past the first-yard marker as they move the chains once again.
This is wing T principles at its very basic part. They love to mirror their plays. He ran toss left, toss right. We'll see now. I bet we'll see Belly here pretty soon, and it'll be right and left.
And you can see they're drawing Windham closer and closer up to that line, and Windham comes up there strong.
Yeah, that was a good play.
That was Garrett Peoples that was in there for the tackle, and also Griffith Ebert for the Eagles.
They're getting some good reads now, good reaction.
That's what they need, but as I was saying, I think they're getting drawn so far up to the defensive line that when Portland decides to throw here, they might get exposed just a little bit.
Yep.
So 2nd down here coming up. Portland just outside the red zone. This one's going to be handed off up the middle, powering through and staying on his feet there. And coming up strong, that looked like that was the quarterback himself. Or no, that was Archambault.
Archambault again.
Who's just a house there. he dragged 3 or 4 Eagles with him.
That's a Portland first down. Ball is on the 11-yard line.
And that was, to your point, Coach, that looked almost exactly like the play before where they were able to come up and make that play.
Opposite side. That's what I mean by mirroring.
Yeah.
Or go one side, same play to the other.
So again, here, and again, they're going to hand this one off and getting tripped up. He might have gained a couple there. Good initial surge by the Eagles to limit the damage. And he's just a little bit slow to get up. Looks like he's trying to walk something off there is Nick Archambault.
He's been tagged a couple times.
He's just trying to, might be getting that calf loose.
He runs well. Just see him slide outside, hit the open spot.
As Archambault was able to gain a couple going to the left there. And again, he's limpy coming up, and this time looks very limpy. Like he can't put much pressure on that. And it looks like it's his left leg or ankle there.
Yep.
Might be pulling his hamstring, but he is very slow to come off. And obviously, Coach, that is a huge deal for this Portland team. He's pretty much their heart and soul.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's an excellent runner. He's a power runner, but yet he has the ability to slide along the line and find the open spot. And you saw him when he ran the toss. He can get outside, too. So.
And clock ticking down 5 seconds to go here in the first half. Quarterback's going to take it himself, get out to the pylon, and we'll see. Looks like he got enough for the first down, but not to get into the end zone, so they're going to have a first down and goal here, maybe from the 2-yard line. And 1.4 seconds left in the first quarter.
Got a penalty?
I think they're discussing
where the ball goes.
Yeah, it looks like they are. Or maybe it's right down.
Well, it's fourth down. 4th and inches.
4th and inches, very close here, and this is obviously a pretty easy call to make when you have 4th and inches from the 2-yard line.
The Windham crowd's finally waking up here.
And quarterback sneak himself. There's 4 or 5 that are pushing him, and he's going to get up and over for the touchdown. Portland gets their second touchdown on the board, and it's the quarterback himself, Isaiah Bachelder, and it makes this a 13-0 game.
Yep. That was a show of strength right there.
And it was interesting there as there were 4 or 5 Portland players because it was just kind of stuck up there near the point of attack.
Somebody got a little push.
As they were pushed right over there. So certainly a strong first quarter here for the Bulldogs as they're looking to add an extra point to make this a 14-point game. Clark will come on, and he looked very good on his first extra point attempt. And this one is up and good as well. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. The MBR Game of the Week presented by OA. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. The video stream is going pretty strong, it seems.
Congratulations to our boys and girls.
Thanks for tuning on here and sticking with us.
They had stellar performances.
Are we good? And we're back here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland, the new 101.5 and also 970 AM. And we're also simulcasting on Maine's Big Z 92.7. And now it's coming in stronger, so that's great feedback. Also on the video stream as well, Russ Thompson, Coach Haley here.
Russ, we had 6 first downs in that first quarter for Portland, none for Windham.
And a good kick here. It's going to go over to the left. Blake Hauser's going to protect the ball, take it to the outside. He's got pretty good blocking here coming in, and he takes the ball out across the 30-yard line. Good return there, but there is a flag on the play. And we'll see which side of the ball. And start of the second quarter. The flag on the play was on Windham, so it must have been a block, illegal block there, chop block on the Eagles as they're trailing here 14-0. And obviously, Coach, we talked about it in the pregame, that week 1 they dominated Lewiston, week 2 they dominated Bangor, and obviously it's a totally different challenge here tonight against Portland.
Certainly is. Much better personnel, better coach than both those other teams. It's a veteran coaching staff Portland has.
Yeah, Coach Hartman took a lot of success there at Yarmouth, took it over to Portland, and really nothing has stopped.
But he didn't take a lot of his coaches. He picked up some other ones, and it was good. Put together a good staff.
And we're going to get a timeout here taken, and time to tell you about the Maine Real Estate Connection. Maine's Real Estate Connection has been located in and serving the Lake region for more than 20 years. They work hard to maintain a friendly, professional atmosphere for their clients and their customers. Find them online at mainrealestateconnection.com or 639 Roosevelt Trail in Windham. And Windham is where we're broadcasting here live on the MBR Game of the Week. Russ Thompson and Coach Haley here. Reminder that our games are presented by OA, board certified, nationally recognized. That's OA online at orthoassociates.com. As it's been all Portland here, but Windham with a chance here to get some momentum going. But, Coach, they're going to have to go 88 yards here as they're starting the ball on their own 12-yard line.
Just like I said, field position. There we go. Back in the hole again.
And you're not going to get anything easy from this Portland defense.
No, that's for sure.
Leslie rolls out to the right, completes this pass over to Hauser. He gets to the second level and gets a first down and more, a gain of 15 solid yards there on first down. As Hoyt was able to make that tackle. And, Coach, it looks like Archambault is not out there for this Portland defense. And he's a ball hawk. He's a guy that's always really at the point of attack, so they're going to miss him.
Yeah, he's always there, always around the ball.
So Portland looking to improve to 2-1 on the year, and Windham with the perfect record coming in here, looking to keep it that way. Leslie, another high snap. This one's going to be handed off on a screenplay there, and it was Nazari Henderson who was able to take it out for 4 or 5 yards on first down.
That's called the buck sweep. The jet sweep.
And they had good success there as Henderson's going to come off. And 2nd and 10 here.
Portland's really crowding the line of scrimmage. They're playing 7, 8.
High snap once again. Leslie's able to get that and stay on his feet, but then he gets crushed there. Hoyt was able to get pressure. Also coming in there was Ian Swan for Portland as well. Actually, no, that was Dylan Bolduc for the Bulldogs, and obviously that is killer. You're looking at a much tougher game here.
11-yard loss puts them right back into that hole that they started in. They're on about the 18-yard line.
So this is Third down and probably a good solid 20 yards here. Leslie, he's looking to throw here. He gets it to Hauser, makes one miss, takes it to the outside, but he's going to get wrapped up. Great coverage there as he was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but they're going to be looking at a punt here.
Put down by Pasquale and Batchelder.
And Batchelder, the quarterback for Portland, was able to come in there and make the tackle.
Hey, like I said, they've got some really good athletes. They can play on both sides of the ball.
As Pasquale lined up deep there, taking Archambault's spot, as he's really a do-it-all type player for Portland.
Standing on the almost a 35.
Yeah, he's got his helmet off on the opposite sideline.
Yeah.
Hauser, the punter for Windham, good snap, and he gets a low punt off, but it's going to go end over end and get a couple really good bounces there, and gets out across.
That's really not a
the
bad
35.
punt. You know, when you have a punted to you, and you're inside your own, you're on your 35, 40, golden rule: catch the ball and jam it back down in. That was good because he couldn't return that. Couldn't even come close to it.
Right, you take the return element out of it.
Yep.
So we'll get another chance to see this Portland offense. It's going to look a little bit different as Nick Archambault, I believe, is still on the sidelines. The do-it-all running back, linebacker for the Bulldogs. And they've had a lot of success on the ground here tonight. Early on, controlling the tempo of the game. This one's going to be handed off. Looks like that's Bull Duke trotting through 3 or 4 defenders, and a good gain there on first down. So it looks like Bull Duke is slotted in, and he's going to be taking over, at least for the moment. And you can see on the video stream there in the background, Archambault is sitting on the sideline, and he's got 3 or 4 trainers around him just with his helmet there. So certainly it's some sort of a lower body injury for him. But it didn't seem to make much of a difference right there as Portland still continues to move the ball.
Like I said, that offensive line has been really punching off the ball. That was better.
As Windham was able to get good pressure interior-wise right there. Gain of maybe 1 there sets up a 3rd down and 4 coming up. And that's really the key, Coach, is being able to get right there at the point of attack and break up the run before they can get out and open. So it's the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also on Maine's Big Z. We've got the video stream as well. So I think they had Windham still making a substitution here. 3rd down and 2 for the Bulldogs. They hand this one up the middle. Great job there by Tanner Bernier as he was able to get into the backfield and get in the way there of Zachary Elowich and make a very important tackle.
That was good penetration. That's what'll do. That's what'll do it for you. We'll see if Portland might go for this, or this is a great place for a fake punt.
Well, and it's we keep talking about him, but Archambault was their punter too.
Yep.
So now he's punt returner, punter, linebacker, running back.
You said it all. Do everything.
Yeah. As we got a timeout on the field here, and time to tell you, for more than 35 years, Headlight Audio Visual has provided audio and visual equipment and installation to individual schools and Fortune 500 companies. Whether you need something installed, video production services or equipment servicing or rentals, we have the team to make it happen. Is weather keeping the office separated? Our video conferencing will get all of your employees together for a meeting no matter where they are. We're located at 74 Evergreen Drive, in Portland and online at headlightav.com. Headlight Audio Visual will do the work. You'll get the praise. Russ Thompson and Coach Haley here on the MBR Game of the Week. And certainly so far, obviously a big down coming up here. It looks like they set up their coach to punt the ball, but you never know coming out of a timeout.
No.
And Coach Hartman has been known to take some chances before as well.
Oh, yeah. This is good field position, good position on the field to do that.
And it's going to be Ethan Hoyt who's going to punt as he gets off a short punt that is bouncing end over end, and it's going to go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line where Windham will take over.
30-yard punt.
So not too bad for
No.
Portland, but you've mentioned it already quite a few times. 30 yards in a game like this with a defense like Portland, that certainly is a difference maker, and that's at least a couple more first downs that Wyndham's going to have to convert.
This is a good opportunity for Portland to find out who's willing or able to step up. When you lose a guy like Ashenbo, you've lost about 4 people because of all the positions that he played.
Well, and they're already without Jake Nope as well,
Yeah.
Who's certainly a factor in that backfield.
Yep.
So they're down 2 in the backfield, but hasn't made much of a difference so far. A good handoff here on first down going up the middle. Kyle Hauser coming in and gaining a first down, and a late flag coming in as well. Did you see anything there? We'll have to see what the officials, as they're converging here.
Talking to Portland. Personal foul.
Must have been a late hit there, and that's really frustrating if you're Windham because
it could have been taunting. Could have been somebody.
It was that late of a flag.
Yeah, somebody might have said something.
It's absolutely killer.
That is, boy.
Coach Perkins has got to be upset about that. That was a good first down, too. I mean, we haven't seen too much of Kyle Hauser. You mentioned earlier he's nursing an injury. It's been more of his younger brother, but he came in there and read the hole very well, but it was all for naught. 6:45 to go in the second quarter right here on the Game of the Week. Portland leading Windham 14-0. Again, they go to Hauser, and again, a very big hole opens up. He takes it to the right. He might be gone here as he gets to the next level all the way down to the 20-yard line. Great hustle play there by Portland to prevent the touchdown, but explosive play by Kyle Hauser. That's exactly what Windham.
56 yards.
And he was almost gone there, too.
Yep.
And you can hear it here. We are right in the stands, and it seems like we're around a lot of Windham fans as they do not appreciate the hold call there. And, Coach, that is a huge call, and you can see Windham coaching staff right there giving the officials what they hear as well.
Well, you can hear the fans behind us, but that's a real nutcracker when that happens. You know, it really is. You talk about momentum being broken.
But they were still able to gain quite a few yards there, even with the holding penalty at the end. So Windham has looked like a different team here as Leslie gets tackled there. Big sack coming in there was Benjamin Levine, it looked like, first, as 3 or 4 Bulldogs were able to wrap up Leslie.
Well, they're teeing off now. They're coming.
So the clock keeps ticking. We're midway through the second quarter. This has really been the first time we've seen Windham move the ball with any sort of consistency. And, Coach, it's very important here before the half that they can get some points on the board because you don't want to ever gift a team like Portland a 2-touchdown advantage.
That's for sure. They've been playing good defense, obviously.
So second and long here, second and probably about 20 yards. As the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Great tackle there in the scrum as Portland was able to limit the damage there. It looked like that was Ethan Hoyt that was able to trip up Leslie's leg.
Leslie hasn't got a chance to get going tonight yet. I'm waiting for him to pop one.
a 3-year starter for this Windham team that has had a lot of success over those 3 years. And he's going to need to convert here on 3rd and 15. He's got receivers on either side and joined in the backfield. He's going to drop back, look over to his left, and complete
nice
a pass. First down, right at the first down marker. Impressive catch and throw right there, as that one was complete over to Griffith Ebert. And you saw that, and Coach, the mark of a good quarterback, as you saw, Leslie waited right until the very end there and was able to get rid of that ball, but took a hit in the process. Had to wait for his wide receiver to get open. First down and 10, as Windham is as far deep in the Portland end as they have been here in the first half. First down and 10. Leslie's going to keep the design quarterback keeper and take it down. Another good game there, and it looks like that battle in the trenches is coming back, swinging Windham's way here for a little bit.
They're coming off the ball right now. That's good.
So 4 minutes to go in the second quarter as Windham is driving here at home. They come in with a 2-0 record. And their quarterback is feeling it right now. Portland's defense, Leslie, and great pressure there by Portland. 4 Bulldogs coming in there.
Bad snap, too.
Led by Elowich there for the Bulldogs. So 3:30 to go. And we will have a 3rd down and 12 coming up for Windham. So very similar situation to the last 3rd down that they were able to complete.
Yep.
And at the very least, you want to get yourself that much closer if there is a 4th down opportunity.
Very important that the receivers know where is the yard to gain.
So they've got 2 receivers to the right and left, and a crowded backfield as well. Leslie's going to fake the handoff, lob this one out to the outside. Coming out there and making the grab was Nate Watson.
Yep.
They gained some there, but they're still looking at a lengthy 4th down here. Great coverage on that 3rd down play by Portland. So it looks like it's going to be about 4th and 5, maybe 6. And it looks like Windham is going to take this opportunity as they've ticked the clock down to 2.5 to go here in the second quarter.
Going to go for it on 4th.
And Leslie's going to lob this one over to the corner of the end zone.
That's interference.
It's got to be a pass interference.
Yep.
Everybody in the stadium saw that one.
Yeah.
Drawing the penalty there on the far side of the field was Nazari Henderson. And now you're looking at a 1st down and goal here coming up.
Yep. Windham's catching up in the 1st downs category. They have 4 now.
This has been the best drive of the game by far for Windham as they move the chains there. And, Coach, also, you see Leslie, he's got a very tight spiral there and threw that ball. If there wasn't a pass interference, that ball was right on the money.
Yeah, he put it right. He put it right on that receiver.
And we'll take 10 seconds here for a station ID on the MBR Game of the Week. So 1st down and 10 for Windham coming up here. They're going to hand this one up the middle. That's to Hauser as Kyle Hauser coming back in there. And again, good 1st down yardage for Windham. Clock ticks under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. We'll throw it down to Matty Beltwell at the end of the first half and get his thoughts on the sideline. Or maybe we won't. And we're going to get a timeout here taken by Windham and taken by Coach Perkins. And, Coach, what do you think he's saying right now with 2 minutes to go here?
Well, first of all, he's telling everybody, he's telling that offensive line they got to come off the ball or they got to protect whatever the play is, and then he's probably mentioning know where the first down is, know how much yards you have to make, and one of the golden rules of a good back, especially, is that when he's in the huddle, he looks over and sees how much yardage he needs in case it's his play. He doesn't want to get caught by surprise. So, and I think they're going to go try to stay balanced, go run and pass on him, not just go, just throw it up for the last minute and 44 seconds.
Well, it's kind of a scenario where you don't have much to lose if you're Windham. It's worth taking every opportunity because unless Portland has a couple big yards here, 144 is not a lot of time to take it all the way back down the field.
Nope.
So this has been a methodical drive for the Windham Eagles. They come into this game 2-0, looking to improve to 3-0, but right now they trail by 14 points at home. But they are in the red zone. And this one's going to be taken to the right into the back of the end zone. There was Nate Watson, and he was almost untouched.
He was.
And an answer there by Windham, and we've got ourselves a game.
We do. We certainly do.
As Windham is able to get back into this one with a touchdown, 1:40 to go in the second quarter right here on the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. Video stream as well. Thanks for joining us there.
What did I say about the offensive line coming off the ball?
Very strong.
They really did that time. They really did.
And I think we've also seen a pretty big shift here in this game after Nick Archambault came out of the game. Extra point is up and good, 14-7. But certainly it has looked like a different Portland team, and you can't really blame him for how central of a figure he is to that team.
It's like I said, they've lost 4 guys when they lost him.
Yeah.
Lost a tailback, a fullback in the wing tee, a linebacker, and a kicker. Hey, you can't help but feel that. You can't help it.
When a guy's out there,
he doesn't have 4 guys that's going to take his place. That's for
realistically,
sure.
Every snap of the game is not on the field for any snaps of the game. That is certainly a big, tall task.
Yep.
You can follow along on Twitter at MBR Radio and also at MBR Maine, MBR.org, Maine's best resource for sports. We will have if you're listening right now or watching on the video stream, check back tomorrow, and we will have the HD replay up on Vimeo, crystal clear, so that if you were watching tonight and you want to watch it again tomorrow, or if you're listening right now, go back to MBR tomorrow and check it out, as it is very high quality. 1:40 to go here in the second quarter, live from Windham High. It's the MBR Game of the Week, and Portland leads this one 14-7. Kickoff, very good kickoff there, and coming out across the 20-yard line, bringing it to the right there. Along the way, that is Vincent Pasquale, and he takes it almost out to midfield there. Great return, and this changes things in the time scenario.
He's a good little runner. Yeah.
There's a flag on the play, though, guys.
A flag coming in, as that is the voice of Matty Beltwell.
Hey, you can hear me now. Hey, everybody, hey.
We'll see which side the flag is on. And this one is going to be on Windham. So to make matters even worse there, I mean, we were just chatting before, Coach, about how Portland may not have, but now they're looking at a short field here with a minute and a half to go.
How many timeouts do they have?
I think they took one. So it looks like they've still got a couple. Hard to tell. We have a bad vantage point for the scoreboard over here. As this is certainly going to be a big moment in this game. If Windham can hold strong here going to half, a 7-point game, or if Portland can get themselves back on the board again. They've got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. A tailback lined up right next to the quarterback, Botchelder. He takes the snap, takes it himself.
Good penetration.
once again, great penetration.
Good penetration.
It looks like that was Braxton Cassidy
2 or 3 guys in there.
who was in there. And certainly that defensive line has showed up here much more so in the second quarter than it did in the first quarter. Right here under the lights, Friday night lights, doesn't get much better than this. And 2 great teams that are more than likely going to match up again come playoff time. I think everybody thinks these are the 2 best teams in this Class A North. They've represented the Class A North last 2 years in the state championship game. Botchelder takes a snap, looks over to the left here, and that one picked off, and he got his feet down. A great pickoff there by Blake Hauser. And great footwork, too, because right as he caught that, he had to get one of those feet down as well.
The good news is he only had to get 1 down, but he got that 1 down. And actually, just for a bonus, he got the 2 down. So that was pretty good. By the way, just want to let you know, find your fuel at Aroma Joe's in Windham. Come grab a Rush Energy drink and all sorts of other goodies. That's Aroma Joe's in Windham's. Many flavor infusions, iced coffee, smoothies, frozen lemonades, lattes, cold brew, apple cider, and more. I bring it back to Russ and Coach Haley right now in the NBR Game of the Week.
Thank you, Maddie, as we've got 44 seconds to go here. And certainly, Coach, that's exactly what Windham was looking here. But right before the half, not only do they limit that touchdown, but they have 44 seconds to go here, and the way they were moving the ball, that should be some time. Leslie passes this one over to the left, picked up on the run there by Grant Jacobson, and out of bounds, and they stop the clock as well. And that is Jacobson, the sophomore, coming in there. And 38 seconds to go. Very important there. They move the chains, and they also stop the clock. And this one is shaping up to be a great game. The NBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and Maine's Big Z. We try and pick the best game of the week, but this week I think it was very easy. Where we wanted to be.
This is it right here.
Leslie drops back to pass once again, and he's dragged down from behind there. Great tackle by Bolduc. He shedded one defender, but then Bolduc came right on his back.
Yep.
And tremendous tackle right there by Bolduc. And it looks like I did hear a whistle, but the clock's still ticking. And it looks like this one's going to come down. And Windham might be content to just let the clock tick off here. Doesn't look like they're going to get a playoff.
Doesn't look like they're trying to get a playoff.
So 14-7, it will be at the half right here on the NBR Game of the Week. And we will throw it down to Matty Beltwell, who's on the sideline here with his thoughts on the first half. Or maybe we won't. We will step aside here on the NBR Game of the Week. We'll be back in a couple minutes here on the NBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. Russ Thompson and Coach Haley on the other side will break down the first half that we just saw.
The girls varsity soccer team had a 2-0 victory against Thornton Academy today.
And we're back here on the video stream as well. 15 minutes to go here. We'll hopefully get Matty back up here for some of his thoughts on the first game as he's been all over the place trying to fix our technical difficulties. It's a very big process here. Most people say, all right, we'll do one thing. We'll do 2 things. But we're trying to do like 6 or 7 different things at the same time. One foot in the future and 1 foot in the present. That's the way that NBR likes to roll. And it sounds like we're sounding good over the radio as well, so that's a plus as well. Yeah, we'll come back and I'll throw it to you for some of the stats, Coach.
Yep, I'll have them by the time we get back.
Great. They said it sounded good on the radio now, so.
Good.
That cord shorted out completely.
Oh, is that why? It was just,
Dumped it. I replaced it. I just happen to have one in the back.
wow, of course it's something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to come on here, break this thing down?
I absolutely do. I just wanted to check my level. Can you hear me
Okay,
better
yeah,
now?
that sounds perfect. It was a little bit quiet the last time,
That's
but
what I figured. So we're okay now.
yes, it
We're
is.
good.
Yeah, go on to mbr.org and you can find the stream. It's right on the home page. You can just click a link and it'll bring you right to it. mbr.org. Yeah. Yeah, and tomorrow there's going to be a HD copy of it up on the site as well. So it's standard definition right now, but we'll have the HD one up tomorrow, which is great. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right, so we got 40 seconds here. 15 seconds. 10. Is this good with you two, ZAN? And we are back here at the half, 14-7, as Portland came out in the first quarter and controlled this one. And Windham there in the second quarter, Coach, certainly got themselves back into this game.
They did. They started to come off the ball offensively, and defensively they were pretty stout. We've got some breakdown as far as total yards, and Windham had 51 total yards in the first half. Portland had 141. The first downs were 5 to 7 for Portland, and 5 for Windham. Remembering that Windham had
A very good disadvantage there early on.
yeah,
certainly.
the field position was very poor, and on one of their drives they had 2 penalties.
Yeah, that pulled back some big plays.
Negated a 57-yard run.
Yeah,
by Hauser, and
they were able to pick up points on that drive.
they were.
Though.
They did score on that, but that could have might have changed the complexion a little bit.
And we're here at the half, and we'll bring in Maddie Beltwell as well. Maddie, what were your thoughts on the first half?
My first question is, where does Portland keep getting these tough tailbacks? I mean, they're all like you went from Zukowski to Esposito and now to Bolduc. I mean, it is just a straight up they just rotate them in. It's like a system. I mean, they just go right into another one. I don't know. Do they grow them tougher in Portland, Coach Haley? How does that work? Is that how that goes?
Something in the water.
Well, I mentioned this earlier that Coach Hartman has attracted some of the best athletes that Portland has to offer, and it shows. I mean, you're right. It's unbelievable. They have had some outstanding running backs in the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, and they're down a couple right now too, with Jake Nope, who isn't out there tonight, hasn't been out there for the first couple of games. And also, Maddie, it seemed to me like the game changed quite a bit there when their fullback, also linebacker, punter, punt returner, Nick Archambault came out of the game.
Guys.
Yeah, guys make that point all the time, the good ones, like Coach Haley and the folks that we've had doing the speed last week, actually. Same thing. When you lose a guy in high school football, you're not just – it's not like the NFL. If you lose a wide receiver, you can go to your 4th or 5th wide receiver. It's not a big deal. It's not going to affect you on the defensive side of the ball, but it might hurt you on special teams, which is why a lot of times when you see these injuries, a guy gets injured, bam, what happens? Oh, on the next special team play, there's a big run. Why? Because it was somebody else's responsibility. At this level, you're looking at 4 different things. There's 4 different phases of the game that they could be involved with. So you're right. It's like losing 4 guys. When you start losing 4 guys, and then the other team stops committing silly penalties, all of a sudden, that 14-0 lead becomes 14-7, and now you're in trouble going in at the half.
You get that good one, that kid like Archambault or a kid like Esposito or et cetera, and you want to use them. I mean, they're valuable.
Right.
So you want to
get
them on both sides of the ball because they're going to have an effect on the game.
There's only 8 weeks in the season.
I know.
Plus the 3. So I mean, it's not like this isn't
And
like football.
those-
There's not a pitch. This isn't like baseball. There's no pitch count on
If
this.
those guys go down,
Right.
now do you walk down the line and say, okay, you're in, okay, you're in? No, it doesn't happen like that.
No.
And you can bring them along. I think you're bringing them along. No, it doesn't happen. You get those good kids, you're going to use them, you're going to ride them, and if and when they go down, they're usually in trouble.
Well, and it seemed, guys, like especially in the second quarter, Windham certainly got a lot more confidence. I mean, in the first quarter, it was crickets here. It was all Portland. But that second quarter, and I think it was a lot when Kyle Hauser came back into the game because he was able to open up some holes in the backfield, and it looked like a different Eagles team out there.
Yep.
It's amazing how that works.
I think that's a good 1-2 punch for Windham, the Hauser boys, and they have missed the older Hauser because he couldn't play in the exhibition or either the first game. I think he might have get in last week. I mean, but you don't play catch up overnight if you've missed preseason and missed early contact.
And we are here at the half, and there's 7 minutes to go at the half, so we're going to step aside here. You are listening and watching the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. We'll be back with the second half action right after this.
Can we talk now?
We're live on video to anybody who's out there. So as long as we can talk publicly, we're okay. We're safe.
Yeah, they wanted you to up your mic a little bit more, too.
I just made an adjustment.
I want to know if there was anything else you needed
That was good.
stat-wise.
No, I think that was good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to take a 3-minute break, so we'll have a couple. If you want to do some of yours here
That'd be
before
great.
the second half,
Absolutely. I definitely want to do that.
we'll come out of the break and you can just take it if you want.
Perfect.
I'll let you know because I think that the timing is a lot better here now.
Absolutely. Also, again, want to remind everybody out in video land, welcome in. You get the bonus coverage here of In Between Breaks and how we do things. You can listen on ESPN 970 and 101.5. That's ESPN Portland and, of course, Maine's Big Z 92.7.
And also, keep an eye out for the HD replay that's going to be coming up tomorrow.
That's right.
We're shooting in HD. Right now, it's just the standard definition, but tomorrow you're going to get high definition in all its glory.
We learned a long time ago that when you start pushing things out over connections, that it doesn't quite come out the way you want to, whereas if you just go for stability, everybody can watch the game, so it makes it a little easier like that. But the biggest thing right now, of course, is just having a good game, and right now, I think this is everything that we could have hoped for. You know, Portland jumps on the board early, and they had a chance to run away with it, but Windham got back into it, cut it to a half, and cut it within 7, and cut the deficit in half. You know, now we're set up for a nice second quarter, nice second half here.
Yeah, it definitely did. Just for a couple minutes there, it seemed like it was getting away from Windham. But that second quarter, I mean, you couldn't have been more impressive, especially down the stretch there. They certainly came back into this.
They really did.
They're showing their metal. They're showing what they're made of because they could have folded right then. They could have rolled right over, belly up. But they didn't. They hung in, came back. You could tell Coach Perkins gave them the old rah-rah, and they stepped up.
It's almost like he's done this a time or two
Once
before.
or twice.
Coach Haley.
Once or twice.
Couple of times here and there, you know.
Might have been there once or twice, yeah.
Also want to thank Joe Carpini from Digital Video Magic up on the camera tonight. Audio streams, of course, again, up at mbr.org.
Everything is at mbr.org. Just go there.
Just
and
go there.
It's your one-stop shop all.
Correct. I mean, that would be the way to go at this point.
There's really nowhere else online that has the same sort of coverage that MBR does because they pull from everybody.
Right.
So they have all the coverage.
That's right. You do what we can. We send it to everyone. And welcome back here at halftime. Portland leads Windham 14-7. They were up 14-0. They're back into it. Matt Beltwell with you here on the MBR Game of the Week. Listen on ESPN Portland and Maine's Big Z. Russ Thompson and Mike Haley on the call. We'll join them here now as we're up top looking at things from about the, what, would you say the 48-yard line, guys? 48-yard line?
He's probably at like the 46. I think I'm at like the 48.
It's not
Pretty
bad.
close to the 50.
This is really a tremendous vantage point and place to watch a football game, especially tonight under the lights. I mean, there's probably not many better places in the state to watch it, and we're just lucky to be here.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's really where it's at this point. We're very lucky to be here and very lucky to be able to bring this game to you. I love the half times. The half times never get any shorter. You get the 3 minutes, and everybody thinks it's 3 minutes, and then you've got the extra 3 minutes where everybody does the jumping jacks and warms up. Coach, did you ever find that helpful when you were coaching? That extra 3 minutes? Did you think that was?
Time used to really be my real concern because you can't work too hard or too fast at getting your team ready to go mentally, and you know it's a fine line. If you start too quick, they fizzle, and if you don't
They don't get ready.
and they go on the field for the second half, they're apt to get blown out. So that's always been I'll give you an example. When I was coaching at Waterville, we had a game at the old Fitzy, the old Portland Stadium. We went out for our warm-ups. Just as we were coming in, a transformer blew.
Oh.
So now we go into the locker room, and they come in. They say, "Oh, it's probably 20 minutes." So I'm waiting, watching, and we start to get ready. The closer we get, and they come knock knock on the door. Oops, it's going to be another 15 minutes. So now we're up here, or starting up here, and now we go back. And so I start again. And when they open the door for us to go, get out of the way, because we're coming. Oh, boy. We were ready. But, boy, we could have been just the opposite. We could have been flat. So time is of real essence, I think, to each coach.
It really is, and it really is in this case. The good news is, though, here's the good news. We don't have to worry about any running clock in this one. This is
Yes.
going to be one of those deals where you're going to want to savor every second. One thing you also want to savor is relationships. The Maine Real Estate Network, creating relationships for life. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Will Plummer at the Windham office to set up an appointment today, 831-3334. Find them online at themainrealestatenetwork.com/Windham-office. I want to thank them for jumping on board as a sponsor for this one of the hometown sponsors. Maine Real Estate Network, creating relationships for life.
How smooth is that segue right there?
It's like I've done this.
Sounds like a pro.
Have you done this before, Matty?
I wouldn't tell anybody that.
Well, and you guys can follow Matty along on the sidelines at MBR Radio. He'll have some of the highlights. Hopefully we'll have some highlights coming up
we'll
here.
have some solid second half highlights because I was kind of busy doing other things here in the first half, but I'm excited to get down on the sidelines.
And Windham has come back out. The clock is ticking down here, but they're just getting in. And those are interesting. They're doing a little bit of high knees there. But we'll see. It certainly looked like a different Windham team there in the second quarter, and if they play like that, I mean, this game is completely wide open at this point.
Just like we said before the game. I mean, evenly matched, well coached, and pretty well focused too.
And we will step aside here for a couple minutes. On the other side, we will have second half action. 14-7, Portland leads Windham. You are listening to the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland, also on Maine's Big Z.
No, you should have seen that. Oh, that was so nerve-wracking because you don't want to go too far, you don't want to start too quick, and all of a sudden, explode.
There's a buzz around here too. You can really kind of feel it.
Oh yeah, you really can. It's got that Friday Night Lights feel to it. And there's some games you can go to and it's like, oh, it's great, it's blah blah blah. But you really, this one here it gives you those feels. That's why you come down here to do these games. There's only a handful, in each conference each year where I think the teams all match up and you look forward to it. And this one, odds are these two teams are going to meet again.
Of course.
In one form, fashion, or another. So whoever wins this one has a leg up on the other one because they'll probably get to host that game when they play again in the playoffs.
Well, and I wonder, how different the teams look then, because Jake Nope isn't out there. Archambault is more than likely not going to be out there. Kyle Hauser is still working his way back into it. So, and who knows who's not going to be out on the field the next time these two teams play as well.
Injuries are something that you never can predict, and they're always a very big part of any football season.
How in the world can you not predict injuries? I don't understand that. I thought you had a psychic on staff.
I wish I did sometimes. I'll tell you that.
I think we all do, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, you can smell all the good food getting cooked up as well.
Oh, you can. You really can. I feel bad for my board offs back there, doing other things. I always feel bad when you talk about food because they're not eating anything,
And we're back here on the NBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. That was Matty Beltwell chiming in with the food report there. He'll man the sidelines for the second half. I'm Russ Thompson. We've also got Coach Haley here, Joe Carpini, running the video stream as well. And we are just about ready to get set here for the second half. And quickly, Matty, what is one thing you're going to be looking out here for the second half?
I'm going to be looking to see if Windham can minimize their mistakes.
Yes.
I really want to see if Windham can, minimize the holding calls, stop, none of the personal foul stuff, and just play a clean second half of football. When it comes to Portland, I want to see if they can overcome the loss. You lose a big player like that, and look at where you are. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments that Coach Hartman made at halftime. It's going to be interesting, as always, to see what adjustments that Coach Perkins made at halftime. Of course, Coach Haley's talked about this too. Portland has a little bit of inside information, of course, with the coaching staff and coaching staff changes. With Coach McLeod coming over from Windham, who's been there for years, was with them with the state championship teams, and really put a lot of this offense in. I can't imagine a bunch of that has changed. So, be interested to see what happens, guys. I'm going to head down to the sidelines.
Thank you, Matty.
Okay.
And we are just getting set here for the second half of action. It's the NBR Game of the Week presented by OA. And wherever or whenever, whatever you're listening to, you could be listening to us on ESPN Portland in the Portland area, up on Maine's Big Z a little bit further north, and also on the video stream through mbr.org. We are thrilled that you guys can be here with us tonight. Certainly a pleasure to be under the lights from Windham High. And, Coach, also Windham building off the momentum. They're going to return here for the second half. This is going to be a tough bouncer. Picked up between the legs there. And coming out to the sideline here is Blake Hauser. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And certainly he was a big factor for Windham in the first half.
Already Windham is ahead of the first half. Weather taking the ball over. Close to the 30. And they had it 22, 20, 22, 26. So now they're on the 28-yard line. That's better, a lot better.
An interesting substitution there as Blake Hauser came out and Kyle Hauser, his older brother, came in. They've been interchanging here from the running back position. And we'll get our first look at Windham here in the second half. As Leslie's pass
ball deflected.
Got tipped there, it looked like that could have been Hoyt that came in, and they had great coverage there and pressure right up the middle from the onset.
Yep, they're going to tee off on him. Hold on, here he comes.
Second half action, and we are under the lights from Windham High as Portland leads the visitors. The Bulldogs lead the hosts, the Eagles, 14-7. And this one's going to get handed off up the middle there. Kyle Hauser coming in, and right at the point of attack there was Benjamin Stasium who came in to make that tackle. Physicality is something that I think is a strength of both of these teams.
Sure is. they're pretty evenly matched. I thought that in the first quarter, Portland's offensive line
Leslie fakes the
ahead of
handoff,
Windham.
and he gets hit right there as he's throwing, and it's going to be incomplete there by Leslie, and that's going to bring up 4th down here. And Coach, Portland's defense, much like they did in the first half, gets the Windham offense off the field very quickly here.
Here we go, and watch field position again.
That is not what Windham wanted here to start the second half, I would bet.
That's for sure.
Maddie Beltwell manning the sidelines. Very close down there to Vincent Pasquale, who's back deep for Portland to receive this kick, and he's on his own 40-yard line.
He's going to have to go a lot farther back, actually, depending on how that bounces.
Oh, boy.
It's going to take a bad bounce for Windham, but they pick it up, and it's right at midfield. And, Coach, again, Portland, great field position to start a drive.
Again.
And I just wonder.
Sounds like a broken record, but, that's part of the very important part of the game.
Just wondering, we saw Coach a lot of the wing tee, a lot of jam it down your throat, but now Archambault's not in the game. We didn't see a lot of Griffin Foley in the first half, so I wonder if that's going to be something that Portland's going to try and attack here a little bit more in the second half.
Well, they're coming out in the eye right now.
So Batchelder under center. He's going to hand this one off to the tailback, and great first down yardage there, 7 strong yards. It looked like that was Bolduc on first down. That was Dylan Bolduc.
Tell you what, Mr. Bolduc, again, just continues the great Portland tailback tradition.
Yep.
Just continues it. And, you talked about toughness, Coach. I mean, you showed it right there with 7 yards on first down.
Sure did. That was a punch.
Sets up a short second down here, and again they go to Bolduc on the outside. He almost gets wrapped up there, strong enough to go and get the first down. As you could see, his jersey was getting pulled back, but he kept those legs churning.
Whoever's coaching those backs are coaching them to keep square to the line of scrimmage and hit the hole going straight up field. Because Bolduc looked just like Archambault running.
Yeah, Portland has been able to substitute here and not miss a beat. So they move the chains. First down here. Handoff to the right. This time it's
fullback.
Hoyt, and Hoyt is a big fullback.
Yes, he is, boy.
He gains good yardage there on first down, 5 solid yards. It's interesting, too, Coach, because early on in the season, I think the game plan was to have Nope as the tailback and Archambault as the fullback, and then he shifted over to tailback, and now you've got a new tailback and a new fullback for this Portland offense.
But Archambault can play fullback.
Yes.
They've used him in fullback sometimes. But you're right. He's better. I think he's better at the tailback, right in the middle of the formation.
Griffin Foley lined up wide to the left. They have not attacked his way here tonight, as this one is going to be a fake handoff up the middle, and good yardage there, moving a couple yards closer, and we're looking here at 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Tell you what, Ethan Hoyt, if you drop him off at the post office, you're going to pay extra. I mean, that's a big kid going up the middle, and if he's going to low center of gravity like that, he's always going to be able to gain 3 to 4 yards.
And Maddie, he can move too. I mean, he had that first catch in the first quarter there, was able to gain 15 yards, so a big kid who can move as well.
I agree.
Batchelder is under center.
Trying to draw him offside.
He hands this one off to Bolduc, and he's able to get down close there. We'll see where the spot is.
I also got a Windham player down here on the sidelines, and it was kind of after the play, grabbing his right shoulder. So we'll see what happens on that. He's being tended to right now, but it was very odd. It kind of happened after the play.
And we will keep it right here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and Maine's Big Z. Want to remind you to go check out Danielle's Sebago Diner. We serve breakfast and lunch located at 862 Roosevelt Trail in Windham.
Take a knee,
All high school football players get 10% off. Find them and like them on Facebook. That's Danielle's Sebago Diner. As we've got a player down here.
25, I think.
So that would be Nate Watson.
Yes, and he's being helped up right now, but looks like it was an upper body sort of thing. He grabbed right at the right arm, so definitely looks like he's not wanting to move that all that much. So I am not a doctor. I don't play one on the sidelines. I can just go by what I can tell you.
Collarbone,
Yeah.
or shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, Maddie, we know who the best place to go check injuries like that out is,
Well,
right?
absolutely. You can go to OA, and of course, the Ortho Access Clinic is open tomorrow on Sewell Street in Portland. There's also a location in Windham as well. So, Orthopedic Associates taking care of you. Find out more about them online at orthoassociates.com.
And it wouldn't be possible to put these broadcasts together without OA, so we thank them for being a major sponsor here for MBR. As play resumes here, and this is a fourth down sneak, and it looked like, I don't know, Maddie, do you have a better vantage point down there?
Boy, I'm looking at the spot, and I think they're going to give it to him, but it's going to be real close.
So we'll have to get out and measure this one.
I got to knock the rust off my eyesight on the sidelines here. It's been a while since I've had to do the old sideline guessing game here.
Make sure you don't get knocked over either.
That's only happened a couple of times. And usually it was totally my fault, so.
So they're going to bring out the chain gang to measure this one.
I think they got it by the nose.
And you can see on the video stream that just gave a little bit of a vantage point down there to Maddie. He's standing right behind the Windham. And it will be good there for first down. And Portland able to move the chains here to start in the third quarter. And the way that this defense is playing, if the offense can keep putting points up, it's going to be tough to stop this Bulldogs team.
They're punching every play. They're driving people backward.
Bolduc, and there's just a swarm there, but he keeps moving those legs. And again on first down, very solid. It looks to be about 7 yards there. And it's very tough to tell who's who when there's 5 or 6 from both teams. But Bolduc is able to just keep his head down and keep those legs moving.
The one thing that he's really able to do is to keep a low center of gravity. So even though he's falling down to the ground, he keeps his knees up, he keeps his feet up, and he's still able to get, when he's falling forward, he gains that extra 2 to 3 yards, which makes a difference. I mean, when you're going from a 4-yard gain to a 7-yard gain, it's a big deal.
And it sets up a manageable second down here for the Bulldogs. And they go right back to that running attack, and it's Bolduc. And he gets it down, and it's going to be third and short coming up here after he gained a couple. Very big third down here coming up for this Windham defense as they found themselves there, but obviously it's going to be pivotal right here.
Matt, you're talking about Bolduc, the way he runs. That's what I was talking about, hitting the hole going square and hitting the hole going straight upfield.
Wait, I always thought, Coach, you were supposed to dance before you hit the hole.
No.
That's not true?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nice
Oh.
try.
All right.
Sets up third and short here. The toss out to Bolduc. He's got runners out in front of him. Gets past the first down marker and takes it down inside the 15-yard line.
You've got to have some speed to run that play on third down and shot.
And yet, yet another opportunity right there, just like Coach Haley just mentioned, to get down and hit the hole quickly. There was no dancing on the outside. As soon as he got that, he was headed straight up. He wasn't running side to side. He went north and south.
Knew how much he had to make.
What a luxury it is to have a guy like Dylan Bolduc to come in here, fill these shoes, and do it admirably.
Yep. He's probably just been waiting in the wings, chomping at the bit.
Keep feeding the beast here, and he takes
boy,
it down
is
inside the 5-yard line. Looks to be close down to that first down marker. The game plan here for Portland is very simple to start the second half. It's feed the beast and get out and block for him.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and run the play until they stop it.
He just kind of glided in there too. I mean, it wasn't like it was a hard run, but he just kind of glided down to a stop at the 8.
He's got a big boy in front of him in Ethan Hoyt, his fullback. They hand it off again to Bolduc. Looked like one of his feet got slipped up there.
Pretty good penetration there.
As he was able to get right down there. I think we're going to have a third and short coming up here. They can get a first down marker before getting first and goal.
By the way, Mr. Watson back on the field already to make that play.
Yeah, I saw that they were working him on the sidelines. That is Nate Watson, junior linebacker for the Eagles. Must have been able to put that shoulder back in place. Botchelder under center. Power attack here. The toss out to the left. Bolduc, and great job there to get low. That was Windham's Grant Jacobson with a huge tackle.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good enough for a Portland first down, but if he didn't make that tackle, Bolduc is looking at 6 points right there.
That's the same play they ran for the first down.
So we'll see what Windham has here. They were able to get a turnover at the end of the first half.
Had 4 first downs on this drive.
And again, similar formation. Griffin Foley out to the right, but they have not looked his way once here tonight. This one's going to be handed off to Bolduc. He got close down there. I don't believe it's enough.
They're running that left side.
They heard him knocking, but they wouldn't let him in the door. He's down at about the 1 yard line. About the half-yard line, pardon me.
Yeah, and he's got second and goal. Portland has second and goal here. So 3 opportunities they're looking at. And the way this line is opening up looks, Windham is going to have to get in the backfield here early. And also another thing to keep an eye on, or an ear on, 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Portland has really let the clock tick off here. This seems to be the way they want to attack this game plan.
Get that Windham offense off the field.
Botchelder looks back. And he's going to take a quarterback keeper himself. He didn't even have to dive. He walked right into the end zone. 20-7. Portland jumps out to a 2-touchdown lead with the extra point coming up.
They didn't even touch him. I mean, how often do you get to say that on a quarterback, Coach Haley, that they didn't even touch him? But literally, he went to. They didn't even touch him.
Especially on a sneak.
Yeah.
There were 13 plays in that drive, and Boulder carried all but 4.
So the extra point here coming up. Quinn Clark to come on to make this 21, and it's up and good. You are listening to MBR's Game of the Week. We'll be back in 30 seconds right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Could be a definition of workhorse. Carrying the ball.
Bolduc?
They're carrying the ball 9 out of 13 times.
We'll come back and say that.
Yeah.
Do we put a yoke on him for that sort of thing? I know we're still live on the video stream, so make sure we give these guys some bonus coverage. But yeah,
bonus coverage. Woo!
Bonus coverage, yes. The coverage you were warned about. Beautiful night for football, by the way, here at Windham. Beautiful night.
We're back here on the radio on MBR's Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. A reminder that all our games are presented by OA, board certified, nationally recognized. That's OA, online at orthoassociates.com. And now, certainly, again, it's a 2-touchdown advantage. We'll really see what Windham's made of here, as they've got 4 minutes to go in the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter, but they've got to dig back here and get this back to a 1-touchdown game.
You have to see them strike quickly.
And they've got 3 back deep to receive this. Thanks for joining us on the video stream, too. Matty Beltwell down on the sidelines. You can follow him on MBR Radio on Twitter. Also, MBR Maine on Twitter. MBR Maine's best resource for sports, online at mbr.org. This kickoff is going to bounce out in front. Taking it out here is Hauser, and he's going to get past a couple, take it out to the sideline, get wrapped up at about the 24-yard line. That was Foley that came in for the tackle.
They have it on the 30 or 29. Nope.
To make it the 5.
28.
28-yard line. As we'll see what Windham, they had a lot of success at the end of the first half. one series here in the second half, but they had a 3 and out. So obviously they're going to want to get something going here. Their quarterback, Desmond Leslie, takes a couple steps back, and great pressure there coming in. He had no time to do anything. Coming up over the top there.
20, number 20.
That was Griffin Foley, who's come in, and he looks a little bit wobbly walking off over there as he trots off the field. That was actually number 70. That was Nick
70. Okay.
Giaquinto.
Sorry.
But great pressure by Portland as Desmond Leslie was looking to throw that. And a whistle here coming in. We'll have to see. And it's going to be a false start. And coach, another penalty here on Windham. It's been shooting themselves in the foot all night long.
What did Matt say for the second half? You wanted to see them
Play clean.
play clean, not get those penalties. It's not bad enough that they take over the ball deep in their own territory, but that now they get penalties to drive themselves back even farther.
They're looking at quite a distance here to go.
When you're down by 14 to Portland, you definitely do not want to be doing anything, having to add any extra to that.
That's for sure.
And Hauser takes this one as he comes out.
It's the old Hauser.
Kyle Hauser is able to take that one across, and he's been kind of nursing an injury, so they're easing him back into it. They've been relying heavily on his younger brother, Blake. So 3rd and 12 coming up here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z, along with the video stream online. And 3rd down and 12. Leslie fakes the handoff, takes this one to the outside, a diving receiver, and that one is out of the hands there of Hebert.
Quite an attempt by him, but he was double covered.
Yes, he was. Only one man pattern, too.
So we'll see. Windham won't take any chances here deep in their own end. Pasquale is deep to receive. Not even that deep, though. He's standing at his own 45-yard line here. So, again, Coach, Portland could be looking at some really good field position.
I know what he's saying, what they're telling him to do. Make them show they can kick it over your head. Get up there.
Good boot. This one coming over to the left and bounces. Doesn't take a great bounce. Comes out along the 47-yard line. Back here on the radio on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and the new 101.5 FM along with 970 AM and also Maine's Big Z 92.7 FM.
How do you like this for Portland? They've had the ball twice this half. Once they get it on the 50, once they get it on the 45, or 47.
It makes it a lot easier when you only have to use half the field. That seems to help things.
Tell me about it.
Well, and Coach, you were mentioning earlier too. What was it? 9 of 12 plays there that last drive were all Bolduc.
Yep.
And he's able. And actually, that was Hoyt, and his helmet came off at the end of the play, but positive yards on 1st down, and he's a big kid. Doesn't seem like the helmet coming off affected him all that much. So we got a minute and a half here to go in the 3rd quarter as Portland has the ball, and they have a 2-touchdown advantage, 21-7. They're looking to move to 2-1, and they're looking to drop Windham to 2-1 on the year. 2nd down and 6 coming up. A handoff right up the middle. Bolduc, once again, he gains positive yards, sets up a 3rd down and 4.
Didn't have his number 44 blocking for him though that time.
Moving people out of the way.
Yeah.
So less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. We are live from Windham High School as the Eagles host the Bulldogs from Portland. And you can hear us really all across the state of Maine. This production is brought to you by MBR, Maine's best resource for sports, online at mbr.org. You can find literally everything that you want in the state of Maine when it comes to high school sports. The toss inside and hit right at the point of attack there. Looks like he's going to go close down to the first down marker. Yeah, it looks like one of the officials, they're going to move these chains.
Got him turned upfield, got his shoulder square.
You can see
a big deal.
Isaiah Batchelder signaled for that first down.
They've been Portland has been I wing, wing T, and spread. Those are the formations they've been showing.
A lot of those formations, Coach. The play looks exactly the same at the snap, and it could go in a lot of different directions.
Sure does. You put your best back in the middle of the formation, he can attack either side or right up the middle.
Misdirection.
Yep.
By the way, guys, we originally had Bonnie Eagle and Bangor scheduled for tonight. Have either of you two gentlemen seen the score for that one?
No, we have not.
Bonnie Eagle 70, Bangor 7.
Oh my God.
We had our hopefully our only blowout last week with Thornton Academy and Chevrolet, but it's funny, Maddie, and you know this better than anybody. You look at the schedule all week, you try and pick the best game of the week, and you're lucky when you actually get games like this that live up to it.
You just never know. You just never know.
This is fourth. They just brought the chains out. Fourth and about a half a yard.
Yeah, it looked to me at the first spot there like it was a first down, but they brought the chain gang out here.
Well,
and
when you put it down and it's not on a line, sometimes the crown in the field will affect your view.
And we'll keep it right here at the end of the third quarter. You are listening and watching to the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN 970 and also Maine's Big Z 92.7. We're brought to you by OA. Reminder that our games are presented by OA, board certified, nationally recognized. That's OA, online at orthoassociates.com. Maddie, you're down on the sidelines here, and obviously big series here coming up if Windham can get this stop.
This is a pivotal play to start the fourth quarter. You know, normally the plays to start the quarter are just kind of like, whatever, but this is a big one to start the fourth quarter with a 4th and 1. Windham desperately needs this defensive stop. I think if Portland controls this clock again, they might take another 5 or 6 minutes off this clock. They score again, and I don't know if Windham's going to be able to get back into it because they're just not going to have enough time. Right now, it seems to me like Portland's running like, remember Super Bowl 25 when the Giants just kind of kept it away from the Bills? Kind of the same thing, just using that clock and doing that thing. Also want to remind you that if you're running out of fuel because Portland's running over you, you could find your fuel at Aroma Joe's Windham. Grab a Rush energy drink with many flavor infusions. There's iced coffee, smoothies, frozen lemonades, lattes, cold brew, apple cider because it is fall, and much more. Check them out in Windham. It's Aroma Joe's.
And start of the fourth quarter.
Maddie, you're talking about momentum. And,
yes.
This is a big momentum moment right here. Can go either way.
Turn the radio up, turn your computer, your TV, wherever you may be watching or listening. This is a big, big play as Portland goes right to left here as the teams have switched sides for the start of the fourth quarter. And Batchelder is lined up, and again they go quarterback sneak, and that looked to be a good push initially, and he's getting bashed in there at the end of the play. An elbow to the back of the head. Clearly saw that by Blake Hauser, but no call there.
Definitely a first down, though. I mean, that's the second time that Batchelder's been able to just kind of come in unencumbered off that out from under center. Coach, how do you combat a quarterback sneak like that, especially one that's that effective?
That offensive line is really getting a heck of a push right now, and I would combat it by getting in both A gaps and just pinching in on the center as hard as I could. But they're getting a real good push off the ball.
And Portland, importantly, moves the chains. The clock keeps ticking, and they are marching down the field. First down and 10.
Get a flag down, dead ball foul, and that'll be on Portland, actually.
So this is something that could certainly work into Windham's favor here. An offside penalty here. They'll get moved back 5 yards, and now you're looking at 1st and 15. And I'm just very surprised here. I saw this Portland team play in week 1, and it was about as aerial of a show as you could see, especially Griffin Foley. I think he had 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. They have not looked one time his direction here tonight. So certainly this is a Portland team that can attack you in a lot of different ways.
Yep, they sure can.
Bolduc gets the handoff to the right there.
A lot of different people.
He's able to get 3 or 4 yards there, get back to the original line of scrimmage. Jacobson with the tackle, and he's had a lot of success there, and we've been crediting him a lot, but also this offensive line is certainly, they never get enough credit, but they've been able to seamlessly create the same sort of gaps and holes.
They've been coming off the ball. They have had really good execution.
So 2nd down here in 12. Portland just looking to keep this clock ticking. They have a 2-touchdown advantage in a pivotal game that could decide home field advantage in Class A North. The toss to Bolduc. Outside, he brings it back up. Good coverage there. Only a couple. Looked like Bolduc could break that one open, but again, Windham with very strong coverage. 10 to go here in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 10. This could very well be it for Windham if they cannot stop Portland here on 3rd down.
This is huge. But, we said that about the one to start the 4th quarter, and look at what happened. So
This is really a 4-down zone for them. They can take 2 downs to get a 1st down.
Well, and I mean,
they don't have to get it now.
Clock is as big of a helper to Portland as anything right now.
Yep.
Handoff up the middle.
Wow.
That was Hoyt. Big, strong guy takes it down 3 or 4 more yards, but they're looking at least 4th and 6 here coming up.
That's what I mean. See, they're going to go now. They'll get them.
Yeah, because a punt doesn't even really gain you anything at this point.
They gave him a pretty good spot. He's actually going to be looking at about 4th, and it's going to be about 4th and 5, but it's 4th and a short 5.
You know, that's a heck of a difference between 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10.
Well, at some point, if Portland runs anything in here, they might have it open because they've been handing it off all second half.
Big 4th down here. Can Portland convert? Can Windham stop? 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
Or they just draw them offside.
And Maddie, I have to say, you called it here in the second half. Penalties have been a problem for Windham all night long.
Could not hold the water on the line there. Coach, you see that all the time. How many times do you tell you guys on the line, don't fall for the hard count, don't fall for the hard count?
Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Watch the hand in front of you.
Automatic 1st down here for the Bulldogs. And more importantly, it allows the clock to keep ticking here, and they are marching down the field. And that's always the mark of a good team. I mean, you keep the other team on the field, and you forcibly kind of take the clock off yourself.
Yep.
This one's going to be off to the right. Great blocking. Bolduc takes it up, and that is good yardage there on 1st down as he ran right behind Hoyt.
See how he's waiting for his blocking? He's not going too fast. He accelerates right at the right time.
One other thing as well that he's doing, guys, this is really heady. I mean, they're right over by the sidelines. He could easily fall out of bounds, stop the clock.
Yep.
No, he's falling down inbounds, and look at the clock. Tick,
Yep.
tick, 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 tick.
Yep.
That's what you like out of your senior and a guy that stepped in here. Obviously, he's a great player, but this is not his normal role to be this lead dog and get the amount of carries, but he has been magnificent.
But Rush, like I said, he's been chomping at the bit on that. He's been waiting in the wings, and when he got his chance, he's making the most of it.
I think he's earned himself some future playing time as
Sure
well.
has, boy. We had to keep those 2 guys out of the lineup.
And we've got a timeout taken here on the MBR Game of the Week. We'll step aside for 30 seconds, and we'll come back. 4th quarter action.
That'll be a 1-2 punch if they get Ashenball back.
How would you stop that? Like, I don't even know.
Well, and Jake Nope was supposed to be their starting tailback, and they haven't even, I don't think they've had him in any of the games so far.
Right.
And you know, Maddie, they haven't run one big part of the wing tee that would exploit both of those guys
So 10 seconds.
is the belly. They could run the belly and then the belly option to pitch to the other back.
That's the big thing, because if they
Yeah.
open that up, I mean, that's just.
I mean, how are you going to stop them?
I don't know.
I mean, you got to assign when you play the option. You got to assign assignment football. You have a man on each one of the guys: the dive man, the pitch man, and the quarterback. So now you get 3 defensive guys that have to carry out their assignments.
I'm not sure how you do that. What do? Do you go back in time? Do you bring back like the '84 Nebraska Cornhuskers to defend that? Like, because I'm not really sure.
That banter you hear there is Coach Haley and Maddie Beltwall on the sidelines. I'm Russ Thompson, and you are listening and watching the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland in the Portland area, and further up north on 92.7 Maine's Big Z. Also, we've got our video stream right on mbr.org, and Portland has been very impressive here, especially in the second half. They're going to toss this one again to who else? Dylan Bolduc, and he gets himself a first down and moves the chains.
Now that was run out of the eye. So now you got your best back, middle of the formation, and let him go.
And they
Let me
moved
just tell you, I'm in front of the student section, and you want to talk about a group of unhappy kids?
No kidding. Tell me about it.
They are not thrilled.
Well, and credit to Portland. They came in here. They took control of this game in the first quarter. At the end of the second quarter, it got away from them a little bit. Start of the third quarter, they took control once again. And, Maddie, the crowd has not been really a factor here at all tonight.
None.
Nope. Not even the guys huddling around you that we can hear on the radio.
Right. They've been a lot less quiet here in the second half.
Very much so, yes.
So Portland keeps the machine. The Portland offense keeps churning. Bolduc takes this one himself. Nifty moves in and out and picks up a first down and goal coming up.
Tell you what, that guy's got some moves.
Tell you what, if it wasn't for Tanner Bernier, Bolduc would be in the end zone. Bernier basically just held on to his midsection and wouldn't let go until he fell over.
Portland is not taking their foot off the gas here. 7 minutes to go. They are looking for their 4th touchdown of the game. They lead this one 21-7. And they've just really sucked the life out of this game at times from Windham's perspective with these lengthy, time-consuming drives.
And Windham, of course, hasn't helped the cause with 3 and outs.
Botchelder once again goes to Bolduc.
He's in.
He cruises himself into the end zone, 27-7. Portland in full control here in the fourth quarter.
I don't even know what you say about that. I mean, there was you've got a tired Windham team. Their defense has been on the field for the entire second half, and now a lot of them play both ways. They got to go back out there on offense. I don't know where you find any more energy, Coach Haley.
Tell you what, it's not only energy, but it's just what it does to your spirit, what it does to your fire. They got to really call on it now if they want to have any semblance of a show.
And the extra point coming on here. And the crowd starting to pour out of the stadium here at Windham High. The extra point is up and good, 28-7. We're going to step aside for 10 seconds to take a station ID. Fourth quarter action on the MBR Game of the Week.
So for those of you listening on the radio stream, I was able to grab the football and corral it after the extra point, and I threw it to the Portland ball kid, and it was a terrible throw, and I'm pretty sure I jammed his finger. So, yeah, I got that going for me, so that's
Is that what
nice.
you're hoping?
I'm pretty sure he, like, you know how you throw it to somebody, and they come back, and they're like, they go to catch it, they drop it, and they're like, ah. Yeah, like that. It was like he got his hand caught in a car door.
So, Maddie, you are fully embracing the Tony Saragusa role on the sidelines.
Oh, I love this. I probably love this more than, like, like the actual play-by-play or any of it, because I can be out running around. You never know when I might get involved.
It's a very cool perspective because if you hear anything on the sidelines, you can hear it down there where we're just guessing up here.
Right. And I can see it because it's usually right in front of me, too. So if I might be able to see something that's covered up by you guys, or by a group of people, especially on those gang tackles.
As Maddie's lined up right behind the end zone here, right behind Windham, as they look to receive this kickoff.
That's one of the best places to watch the games where Matt is right now because he can see the spacings and he can see the whole play. Everything's in front of him.
I feel like I'm in Madden, only, I'm not
Yep.
playing.
That's a good kick. Clark can really kick the ball there. That's an underrated
Down
part
to-
of this
down to the
this
5.
Portland team. Goes to Hauser. He's going to go right up the middle, and he's shedding tacklers. Gets to the outside. Great coverage there
Still
right
going,
before half.
still going,
And he
still
gets up on
going.
his feet.
Still going.
And he
still
somehow
going.
keeps
He's
himself.
He's
And he's
in.
going to get down there all the way. That's 90-plus yards
95.
from Blake Hauser.
95 yards.
I thought for sure he was down.
Remember I just said, how quickly can they strike?
I have no idea how he stayed in bounds over on the left side.
I
have
know.
no idea. No
I know.
idea. He kept his balance. Not only did he keep
Just an incredible play there by Blake Hauser. And Windham fans have got to be thrilled that they're going to have him for 2 more years. He's only a sophomore,
This
but
kid is a tough kid, too.
that has got to put some life into the field here, the crowd here, the sideline here for Windham as just a great individual effort.
He's taking a licking and keeps on ticking. I can tell you that.
Maddie, what did you see on that one down there?
It just, honestly, he just kept his legs moving, and just kept his balance. I mean, that's all you can ask for.
Nobody wrapped him up.
Nope. Tried to shoulder him out of bounds. It didn't work. And that kick is going to be right down Broadway.
Now, I have to tell you right now, Matt, I don't know if you knew this, but that kicker, number 29,
Yes.
the guy is kicking.
Yes.
He's a foreign exchange student from Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, the first time he kicked the ball was like 3 days before the first exhibition game.
Well, I would say
That's when he got here.
I would say he's learned rather quickly, and he's doing okay.
Yes, he's doing very well.
Hey, it's very similar to football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you got a boot, you got a boot.
Remember when Notre Dame used to do that? They'd always get somebody from their soccer team to do it. I remember
Sure.
Wyndham actually had that the year that they went to the
Wyndham's done it for the last 5 or 6 years.
Well,
remember Matt Coffey did that for the
Yep.
when they won the state title.
Well, and
Yep.
Portland's kicker, Quinn Clark, is also a soccer player.
Yeah.
So that's you see that more often
Hey.
because the schedules do line up.
Why not? Why not?
Is the best kicker that you're going to find. I mean, you're
Take
not
it-
going to find anybody better than that.
Take advantage of them. Take advantage of all the talents that's on the hoof.
So as
Get
we
it
are,
involved in your program.
be interesting to see, Coach, do you try some sort of a squib onside kick here? 6:18 to go, and you still are down 2
Too
touchdowns.
early.
Too early?
Yep.
Say this though, nobody has.
Let's work on the other side of the field position. See if we can pin them deep in their own territory for a change.
Coach Perkins is known to gamble once in a while, though.
You see how
Been
far
known.
up Portland was. I mean, they had 8 or 9 guys right at the point of attack. And a great kick there.
Hey, hits
Bounced it out of the back of
just
the end
on
zone.
the goal line and rolled in.
Touchback there on the 20-yard
so
line.
that's minus 20 now. It's the first time they've taken the ball over.
I think that's the first time they've gotten it outside the 35 all night.
No, they had it on the 26 and
It's certainly, I mean,
23.
Worst field position of the night at the 20, not bad.
they've had
Oh,
terrific
good.
field position, and I think that's been a huge part of this game. Guys, if you're Wyndham, how much do you pressure the point of attack here?
Come
'Cause
as hard as you can.
You know that, I mean, a couple first downs could be this game
Yep.
with the way
Will
that
be,
Portland chews up the clock.
The other
will be the game.
the other thing you look at here, sorry, Coach, is that if you do pressure that and he breaks one, he's gone. There's not going to be any
Yeah.
secondary help.
Oh yeah.
Well, you look at how deep, I mean, Hauser's the safety there, and they've only got one safety. And low on the ground, it looks like there's a scrum right at the end. We'll see. It didn't look like there's no sort of a fumble signal or anything like that.
There almost was, though. You know how that back, sure, Coach, seen the extra couple of yards up dropping the ball. We almost had that situation there, so that might be something to keep an eye on as they continue to try to grind out yardage. Sometimes that second effort isn't worth that extra
That's
yard
right.
because the ball goes on the ground.
Right. You're right.
Every second ticking off here is important for Windham, and we are just over 5.5 minutes to go. Looking at 2nd and 9 is Portland. They know that first downs could put this game away. 28-14, they lead. Botchelder under center. He's going to toss this one to Bull Duke, who has some trouble with it, and it's still on the ground, and I think he picked it up there right at the end.
Oh, he's
Big loss, but avoiding a disaster.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well. And he to it and got lucky to keep possession. He did not get lucky on the tackle, though, because he took the abuse from that.
Well, and we had a great vantage point from Joe Carpini on our video stream there, and that was a tremendous play by Dylan
ball
Bolduc.
hawking now. They got a ball hawk. Now they've got to, if they're going to, Portland has got to hold on to the football because, Windham's going to try to take it away from them, as Matty just said, especially when they're trying to go for extra yardage.
3rd down and long coming up here, but Portland did avoid a disaster because Windham would have taken over inside the 10-yard line there.
Yeah.
Looks like this is going to be another running play. It will be. Bolduc solid up the middle, doesn't lose it. 4th down coming up here. Obviously a punting situation, but solid success there by Windham, but they're not going to have a lot of time here to score 2 touchdowns.
No, never know.
Yeah, the last time it took them, about 10 seconds to score, so they should be able to get 2 more in 4 minutes to go.
Special teams touchdown here could make it quick.
And it is Hauser back again deep. That's Blake Hauser. And he's really not that deep. He's inside the 50-yard line. A flag coming in here.
See.
False start.
We talked about,
Or motion, excuse me.
No, they have a guy coming on the field. Should have known where he was supposed to be.
Archambault.
Okay, that's right. Archambault's out. Now who takes his place? Okay, and so your punter takes his place. Who takes the punter's place?
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, that is a frustrating thing, and it happens more than it should, but it happens.
3:52 to go. Portland punting from their own goal line, and it
it
got blocked there,
That's
picked up on the run, and he's going to get himself down, I think on the 2-yard line.
Boy.
Picking that one up was Cameron Hofsey's, and what a difference that is. They're on 1st and goal on the 2-yard line.
What did I say? How quick can they strike? Watch out.
And that was a blocked. There was some sort of a deflection
he
there.
Deflected it.
Because and you mentioned it, that it's a new punter in there, but there was a deflection in there. And what a terrific play there by Cameron Hotchkiss, because he's looking to go back and block for his returner. He picks it up under the bright lights, takes it right down to the 2-yard line.
Very alert play. Very alert.
How often do you see that where the deflection actually, guys, causes somebody to not be able to get the ball? In this case, it went right into his hands.
Yeah.
Right,
good play
perfect.
by Bernier to bust in there.
Well, that's the thing, whether it's blocked and it goes backwards, Matt, or if it's tipped like that and goes forward, that's a dangerous play for the punting team.
Windham scoring very quickly here. Let's see if they can do it again, this time from the 2-yard line. Handoff to Kyle Hauser, and 3 or 4 Bulldogs come up strong there.
It looked like it was a poor handoff. I don't know, but he looked like he had to wait for the ball on that one.
Great game here from Windham High. 3.5 minutes to go. Windham needs 2 scores. It's going to be Leslie himself. Not much of a push there on the offensive line.
He got in.
And he did get in. Touchdown Windham. After the extra point, we're looking at a 1-score game. Can't make this stuff up. Great action.
Honestly, that was all second effort. He just rolled up his left, rolled it, and he got into the end zone.
What did we say? Best game of the day? You're seeing it right here, baby.
Well, and it's funny here because I think that there were some Windham fans that exited about 5-10 minutes ago.
Hope they're listening on the radio.
They're probably listening and
might
saying,
want to come back.
They're pulling a Miami Heat fan book.
No, the old Buffalo Bills, the ones that wanted to come back in.
Against the Houston Oilers, yep.
So 3:19 to go. You can see on the video 28-21.
Now, Ross, you have the onside kick.
Yes.
Now you get it right here.
Well, the way that special teams has been such a big factor here.
What did we say about how the kicking game was going to be so important today? And it has been on both sides.
And I think if you're Windham, whether or not you come back and you can get back into this game, this has got to do a lot for the confidence because this was a 3-touchdown game. they storm right back in, and they probably caught Portland a little off guard here.
We see what they're made of.
Yeah.
They were challenged, I'm sure, and they're stepping up to the plate.
Terrific action here on the third week of the season, and this is going to be one that is more than likely going to be a playoff matchup. When the schedules came out, everybody circled this game for week 3, and that's why we're here with the MBR Game of the Week.
We wouldn't fib to you. We wouldn't tell you something that wasn't true.
And Windham kicking off here.
Nope, they're going to kick it all the way down.
Terrific kick there. Pasquale picks it up. He's got some good blockers coming up here, and a great return there as he gets knocked out of bounds right on the Windham sideline. They're fired up.
Good tackle. That was by the kicker. He saved them.
So they've got 3:12 to go here. And more than likely, if Portland can move the chains here, it's going to be pretty tough to deny them. And I would expect, Coach, we're going to see a lot of the same game plan we've seen here over 3.5 quarters.
You're going to see Bolduc and Bolduc and Bolduc and Bolduc.
And that's always such an interesting dynamic when both teams know what's going to happen.
Can you stop them?
And you still have to try and stop it.
Right.
The bread and butter here for Portland.
I also want to make sure you get your snap off clean here too. How many times have you seen that, Coach? Where all you got to do is get the ball into your running back's hands, and the quarterback can't snap it or can't get it out of the center's
hands. When they know
hands.
the squeeze is on.
1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 3:15 to go. Portland hands it off to Bolduc. He's got good space out to the left, and he gets tackled out of bounds, so that stops the clock.
That looks like when that play is run, it looks like it's planned, but it isn't. He's running to a point of attack inside, doesn't see anything, and bounces outside. He does that very well.
So 3:06 to go, 2nd and 5.
Because he left his blockers inside. He didn't have any blockers outside like that.
A lot of kids in the state can't make that move.
They can't make that move, that's right.
And when you do, you're like, what are you doing? Why don't you follow your blockers?
Yeah.
In this case, I think they're going to let it go.
Sometimes they get away with it, but
Botchelder's going to fake the handoff, and they're going to throw.
Wide
and
open.
Finding him open, that's Foley. He's shedding tacklers, staying on his feet, and he goes down inside the 20-yard line. Huge play. First pass of the night to Griffin Foley.
There you go. Talked about Foley. Finally, that's the first time we've seen him anything of him.
I don't want to say this too loud, but holy Foley. I mean, that was
big play, boy.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a big-time throw by Batchelder as well. I mean, that he's under duress, and there was a defender right there, and he found the open guy. How many times do you see at this level throw get made, it gets overthrown, thrown behind, underthrown, perfect pass?
Yeah, it was. Laid it right on him.
Well, and guys, what confidence does that show that Coach Hartman has in his quarterback and his wide receiver? They didn't throw the ball once tonight. Nope. And with 2 minutes and 45 seconds, they complete a 30-yard pass that moves the chains.
Yep.
Gets a clock running again, too.
So Portland in control here. 2.5 minutes to go. They lead 28-21. The handoff, they go more traditional this time. Bolduc, he gets wrapped up, maybe gains 1, but 2nd and 9 coming up here, and it's going to be a timeout taken.
Did you say original? Or did you say traditional?
Traditional.
Oh. No, that wasn't a very original play for them.
Yeah, no, traditional. They go right up.
About the 25th time they've run it.
So maybe originally traditional?
Yeah, it could be.
2:25 to go here. 2nd and 10 as Windham burns a timeout there. And a good stop on first down, but they're going to need at least 2 more here. And this is probably 4-down territory, too.
It is. Oh, yeah. Definitely is. No question about that.
We're live here.
They'll take all the plays. They'll take all the time, and they'll take all the plays they can.
We're thanking everybody for tuning in here, making this possible on the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also on Maine's Big Z. For all the people who've been joining with us on the video stream, thanks for hanging out here. And we've still got 2:25 to go. And the game has left to be decided. I think that's the mark of a good game when you get down to the final 2 minutes.
True.
And you don't know who's going to win yet. And we're lucky enough to have one of those games here tonight.
Yep. Well, we hope for it and got just what we hope for.
A couple of scores for you for around the area. Dirigo fell to Winthrop 14-6 with a touchdown. 14 seconds left in the game on that one. That's how they won it. Mountain Valley also defeated Lake Region 34-7. Brunswick over Coney 58-14.
What was that last one?
Brunswick over Coney 58-14.
Oh, boy.
Impressive from the Dragons.
Yep.
Well, we've got the Bulldogs and the Eagles, and the Bulldogs are trying to put this one on ice. Toss to the right to Bolduc.
Pitch again.
He's got good blockers out in front, and he dives past, and he's still up on his feet, and I don't know how he's still moving that pile, but first down and goal coming up.
Still going.
Maddie, what'd you see right there?
And rolled right in. He just went backward.
And you were cutting in and out there for a second, Maddie, but right down as Bolduc was coming in and out. 2:15 to go. And more importantly, Coach, they move the chains. And now, I mean, we're looking, but it's funny. I remember last year, it was a similar situation to this. South Portland and Bonnie Eagle came down. South Portland had a fumble recovery to go all the way down, and they scored 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes to go.
Racking up the yardage and eating up the time.
Portland looking to get their 5th touchdown of the night. They go up the middle, and good coverage there from Windham as they were able to fill that gap.
They collapsed them.
Tell you what, on that big run that Bolduc had, now that you can actually hear me, Bolduc just literally, he turned his back to it, and he just let his momentum keep him up, and he actually had a couple of Windham players like holding him up, so Bolduc just kept falling backwards. He could have been tackled in bounds, but he ended up getting out of bounds, so very just a tough run. And the best part about him going backwards like that, Coach, he doesn't leave himself open for that extra fumble or that extra yardage fumble.
Protection.
Well, it's funny, Maddie, we're watching up here, and we can't see Bolduc because he's surrounded by 5 Windham players. So, I mean, how can a guy that you can't even see move the chains? But he was able to do that.
He's somehow finding a way. He's getting swallowed up, and then he bursts out on the other side. You're like, oh, there he is.
Is there any doubt who's getting the game ball here tonight for Portland?
I would assume it would be him. You could also look at his offensive line as well.
That's
but I
true.
don't know. In this situation, when you get a kid that's bouncing out on the outside and he's making a lot of second effort runs like that, you got to give it to the kid because it's not a situation where, like Cheverus and Thornton Academy sometimes, Cheverus back in the day, Thornton Academy now, a lot of these guys you can run a truck right through there. I mean, it could be, it's just a big hole. But
this is the second half, 23 times.
Right.
Wow. Bolduc is carried.
Somebody better get him into an ice bath of some type right after the
23
game.
23 times is a lot for a full game, let alone a half.
I'm not kidding. He carried it like 6 times in a row on one drive.
Second and goal here for Portland. They have 2:09 left on the clock. This would be a killer touchdown if they can get it. They go back to Bolduc. He gets tripped up closer to the goal line, but it'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Another timeout.
As his legs were taken out here. A timeout, and time enough to tell you that we are supported here today by Moody's Collision. That is the Moody's Collision Center collision of the game. We've got 9 convenient locations. Bring your car to Moody's. Find their location online at moodyscollision.com. 2:04 to go as we have 3rd down and goal coming up here. What is that, on the 5-yard line?
Looking at the 3-yard line at this point. Well, the official's standing in front of the ball, so I can understand why you couldn't see that. By the way, I just want to mention, too, the Maine Real Estate Network is creating relationships for life. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, please call Will Plummer at the Windham office to set up an appointment today. 831-3334. That's 831-3334. The Maine Real Estate Network, creating relationships for life, online at themainrealestatenetwork.com/Windham office.
And we want to thank all our sponsors here tonight and every night. Certainly a big operation, and it just would not be possible without all the local support that we get here throughout the state of Maine.
Matt, something interesting to watch for. Watch for some late hits. Watch for some nasty stuff. Because
this is not going to go very clean.
They won't go easy. Keep your eye on it.
This has blossomed into one of the better rivalries in the state.
Get the best look of anybody in the place right now.
I feel like I do. I got a good one. Hopefully they run it right towards me.
make sure you get out of the way.
Scramble. Hide behind the goalpost.
I'll do what I can. They got a pylon here. Maybe that'll protect me.
3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Portland knocking on another touchdown here with 2 minutes to go. Bachelder looked like he was going to toss that, but kept it himself, and he gets denied. And now it's interesting, Coach, because they do have a good field goal kicker. And if you make this a 10-point lead, doesn't that kind of achieve the same task as making it a 14-point game? Because it's still
Same
a
idea.
two-touchdown game.
It's a
Two-score.
Two-score game, yeah.
Windham out of timeouts now.
And they're just going to keep it.
Bolduc looked like he was expecting the ball on that one.
If Windham can get the stop here, they should get the ball with about a minute to go, but they're going to have to go 97 yards if they get a stop.
Well, you know what they're doing?
Hard count.
No, he's watching the back judge. See the back judge? Start to count. When he starts to count, they'll snap the ball.
And now this is an interesting dilemma for Coach Hartman here. Do you go, because they certainly have a lot of success with their kicker and confidence in him, and if you make it a 10-point game with 1:18 to go, barring a miracle, I mean, that does achieve the same task.
Yep. Small margin, but.
However, if there's a bad snap or it gets blocked,
yes, you leave
which
yourself
at
open.
this level is always as big of a possibility as actually being made.
Very
on a
good
field
point.
goal try.
Could happen.
You know, it goes a couple of different ways here. And, of course, the other thing is,
This
too,
is not-
if they miss it.
This is nothing more than a PAT, though, from
Right.
where they are. I mean, so this isn't anything to be, pressing on. I mean, it's kind of natural. Just do what you always do on a PAT.
A little bit different, Coach Haley. They're lined up over on the kind of the left hash mark there. Aren't they normally in the center for a PAT?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
The official just said, yep, sure was. I always love it when they give me the information here.
You are that close.
Yes.
And it's interesting. Quinn Clark keeps coming on, coming off there. It looks like he's going to stay off on the sideline. And it looks like they're going to try and pick this one up on the ground. And I think, Maddie, to your point, the snap, you never know. I mean, you leave yourself much more exposed if you do take that chance.
No, they're going far.
They're going to try and pick this one up on the ground. 78 seconds to go.
On the pitch. Nope.
Fake it to him, and they're going to lob it over in the touchdown in the end zone. And that one's picked up by Griffin Foley. Touchdown, Portland. Wide open.
20 again.
Tremendous.
Well, they had you fooled, Coach. You knew that was going to fool Windham, and sure enough, second pass of this drive, and it caught him.
Yep.
Well, I think that's what makes this Portland team incredibly tough to match up against, because we did not see a single play out of Griffin Foley for 3.5 quarters, even more than that. Then he gets the big first down conversion there, and then he finds himself wide open in the back of the end zone. And you have to sell out to try and stop the run there, so it's not really like Windham has much of a chance. If Portland has that initial blocks down and Bachelder's able to look and find Foley, I mean, there's nothing you can do there. Extra point, up and good.
Yep.
And I think you have to be really impressed with Coach Hartman, what they've gone through here tonight, missing their all-around guy at Archambault, the momentum swinging back in Windham's favor before the half, and they've controlled this game from the opening whistle.
Yeah, well, remember what I said. In that first quarter especially, their offensive line was just kicking the heck out of Windham. And Windham, retaliated a little bit in the second quarter, but this half, they've held the ball. They hogged the ball. And you like Maddie said, keep the offense off the field. You don't win if you don't get the ball.
And if you are jumping into your car, turning on the radio, whether it's 92.7 Maine's Big Z or 970 AM, 101.5 ESPN Portland, reminder that tomorrow we will have a high-definition copy of this game available to view online. Just go to mbr.org and click the link, and you will be able to check this out. It should be up tomorrow, as that is a real treat for everybody out there. And this has been a real treat here to be here tonight.
It sure has, to see it firsthand. Yeah, and be a part of it.
So 1:13 to go, 35-21. And I think both teams come out of here with a lot of respect for each other too, because there were moments in this game where both teams really had their say.
Look who's kicking off. What we talked about at halftime. Bolduc kicking off.
He's going to sleep very well tonight.
Yeah, I would think.
That one's a low kick picked up on the run there and getting it out.
80 or 90?
That was 80.
80.
That was Gavin Thibodeau for the Eagles, and barring a real miracle here, because now it's a 2-touchdown advantage, 69 seconds to go for for Windham.
109 left and no timeouts.
They're really going to have to find something, and if they do, it'll probably be featured on SportsCenter or something like that, because that would be a miracle. But I think...
so you're saying there's a chance?
Always a chance, Matt.
Leslie lobs this one over. It's a good catch there by Henderson. Stays up on his feet, and he gets down. Big gain there, 15 yards. Moves the chains.
Henderson had a chance to bust that one there, but he broke it outside. Broke it inside instead of outside. He had the sidelines all to himself.
Matty Beltwell manning the sidelines here. Leslie drops back to pass. Lobs it over to the left there. Hauser picks it up, and it's fumbled there. Hoyt comes up with it. He's going to go untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Portland. They add another one on, and he runs into the end zone. Ethan Hoyt, timely pickoff there, and a little icing on the cake.
That was great effort by Leslie. He could have just fallen down. He ran all the way into the corner and got him just as he crossed the goal line.
Here's the bigger loss right now for Windham.
Yep.
Hauser is coming off the field, and his knee does not look comfortable. He fought everybody off. I mean, there was a gaggle of people around him.
They noticed it very quickly.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's trotting down there to get on the field goal block here.
Dragon light. You are never, ever going to question Windham's toughness or Portland's toughness. Ever.
Those guys line up and hit each other every single play.
Two of the tougher teams in the state. I think there's really no doubt about that. We mentioned it quite a few times on the broadcast here tonight. None of us would be surprised at all if these two teams meet again. But I think the big takeaway out of tonight is that matchup's probably going to be at Fitzpatrick Stadium with Portland having home field advantage.
Depending on how the rest of the season goes.
It's true.
You never know.
It's true.
I mean, you got a game right now where Lewiston is within 8 points of Cheverus. This is not your typical Northern A year.
Mm-hmm.
Who scored that touchdown, Russ?
That was Ethan Hoyt. That was big boy, number 44.
Oh.
That was a big boy's dream, too. That landed right in his hand, and he had nothing but green grass, hopes, and dreams in front of him.
46 seconds to go for all the big boys out there. Ethan Hoyt.
That's right.
Big boys representing.
He represents them all right. He's a load.
And you know what? Coach Haley made a great point. Des Leslie did not give up on that play. In fact, Batchelder had to throw a block at Leslie to keep him from getting to Hoyt. So no quit on that Windham squad.
No, there sure isn't.
Well, it's interesting, too. You can see
showing a lot of character.
Blake Hauser with one of the members of the Windham coaching staff. He's got his arm over him. I think everybody here would say that he played his absolute heart out here tonight. And I don't think Windham's a team that everybody's going to want to play come playoff time, because you see in a moment they can score very quickly with the weapons that they have.
Told you, they can strike quickly. It's too bad they didn't give themselves more opportunities to strike. Well, let's put it this way. Too bad that Portland kept them from having the opportunities to strike.
You've been listening and watching the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA right here on ESPN Portland 101.5 and ESPN 970, and also on Maine's Big Z 92.7. Extra Point is up and good.
Pretty good day for number 17, huh?
And Coach, starting to wrap things up here, what are some of your takeaways here from Portland and really what they've put together here? 6 touchdowns on the night.
Well, it's it's execution for one thing.
Yeah.
It's some pretty good defense too, and when they executed as well as they did in the running game to keep the ball away from Windham, because we just saw how explosive Windham is and can be, and the best defense is is your defense. You know, your best offense is your defense because they're not going to score. Although they did on the interception, but
Yeah, well, I think it was
punt
only
return.
one defensive touchdown allowed. The other two coming on the
Yep.
special teams
Yep.
as they are getting ready to kick this one off. Maddie, how about you? What are some of your takeaways from this one?
The takeaways from this one, Portland has definitely washed out the taste from the Scarborough loss
Yes.
already. And Windham is going to have to go back to the drawing board here. And, you know, it's not easy. You just can't jump back on the horse, the week after. I mean, Wyndham's got some tough games coming up. I know Bonnie Eagles on their schedule, but at the same time, you got to play to the level of your opponent. And some of the teams this year may not match up with them in the first half. So it's tough to get back up to that level to
I think
figure
they
it
have
out.
Thornton next week.
Yeah, and that's a fun one.
Yeah.
You know.
We saw them last week, 65-0 over
Yeah,
Cheverus.
they
So
sure did.
I think we're seeing here tonight the odds-on favorite to represent a North in that game. But Thornton Academy is everybody's odds-on favorite to win it again and to win 3 straight.
Well, that would make it a Thornton Academy Portland replay, which we had with Brunswick Marshwood the last couple of years down in B. So
Yeah, now with the 4 classes the last couple of years, creating that Class D and separating this Class A a little bit more.
and of course Class B will be played up in Orono on November 18th this year. It's their turn again.
Ultra competitive
Class B.
class that one is.
You aren't kidding, it is.
We'll see if Windham can have some more magic here. And they do. They complete a pass over to Henderson. He gets it out over half field.
18 yards.
And 35 seconds to go. We've been broadcasting here live from Windham High School. Want to thank Windham for accommodating us here, giving us a great table, perfect internet connection, and a tremendous setting here as well.
Yes, they were very flexible this week. There was we had to come out on Wednesday and get some stuff all set up and ready to go, and they were super helpful. So I want to thank Rich Drummond, the athletic director. I also want to thank their IT guy. I don't remember his name, but he was absolutely fantastic on Wednesday. I want to thank him for getting us on the air.
You wouldn't know how much IT stuff goes into these broadcasts, but it is quite a bit.
Yes.
30 seconds to go. Leslie looks to the outside. That pass is incomplete.
Bolduc almost had another pick.
He's still playing. Nobody's going to tell him to stop.
Oh, no, nobody's stopped at this point.
And also want to remind people who may have just left the game getting into their cars, you are listening to live local high school football action. And also go on to mbr.org tomorrow because we're going to have an HD replay of this game up on Vimeo. You can put it up on your TV, on your computer, and you'll get a chance to watch this entire game in high definition. So just go on to mbr.org to find that replay tomorrow. Leslie takes this one to the outside, gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 20 seconds to go.
You can count the blades of grass when it gets into HD, too.
It's very cool, and we're pleased to have the best camera guy in the state giving us all the great angles here tonight in Joe Carpini.
He gives the angles all right.
I got a second, Coach Haley, on that one. 42-21, 21.4 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
As this one is just seconds away. And a handoff up the middle there. Coming in, that was Kyle Hauser. We've seen a lot of him here tonight.
Carried that like a loaf of bread. Thought he was going to lose it, but he managed to hang on to it.
And they move the downs, and that stops the clock momentarily with 16.4 as it runs back again here. And I don't believe we will have another down played, so that'll do it here. 42-21. It was closer than that, but Portland is able to double up Windham here on the MBR Game of the Week, presented by OA on ESPN Portland and also Maine's Big Z. We'll step aside here for 2 minutes, but we will come back, wrap this one off. Don't go anywhere. It's the Game of the Week.
Guys are on video now. I'm going to talk to Russ. Russ, I'm going to try and grab Coach Hartman here. So.
Awesome. Absolutely. Just, I took a 2-minute break, so.
Okay. I'm sure it'll take a couple of minutes for him to get through the line.
Okay. Just. Maddie, if you get Hartman, look over here.
Look up at Mr. Carpini.
Yes.
Want to thank everybody watching on mbr.org. Also, our friends over at WCSH6.com who put up the link for you as well. Want to thank them.
It's obviously, Maddie, a very cool atmosphere here in the state of Maine, that very collaborative, and people just want to get these games up on the air.
Yeah, it's great. The coverage has leaps and bounds almost the last decade that I've been covering these things myself. It's come a long way.
It's a whole new ball game out there.
It really is. Really is. Quite a handshake line here. Good stuff. Portland players pretty excited. They're all looking at me like, what is that guy doing here? It's not often that you get somebody with a live microphone just hanging on the field, you know?
They're like, who is this guy?
Right. I'm waiting for Coach Hartman to get through the handshake line. Hopefully I can grab him before he talks to his team. Again, your final 42-21, and it looks like a bigger score than it was. Windham was actually within 7 with under 2 minutes to go, but Portland pulled away.
30 seconds here, Maddie.
Okay. Let's see if I can grab him.
Thanks to everybody once again who tuned in here on the video stream. Ten seconds.
I'm just want to be live on radio for a second, or do you want to jump with them? Okay. Okay. Welcome in. Welcome back. Coach Jim Hartman, Portland, big win for you guys tonight.
Super win. I was really proud. It was a team effort. Our offensive line really came through tonight big time. I told them before the game I thought they're the best line in our conference, and maybe we're moving up to the league in the state. So I was really pleased with that.
Bolduc and Foley had some big, tough runs.
You talking Foley?
Both of them did.
Foley was a wide receiver.
He had the run back. Excuse me.
Plays. They're tough kids. They're super tough kids. They did a great job tonight.
You let Batchelder throw it there late. That was a big play call by you. You hadn't set anything up for that, and then 2 big passes there on the last drive.
Well, I mean, they were just overplaying. They had to overplay our run. We were killing them with a run, so they had to do something. So we just threw.
All right, Coach Hartman, I'll let you go talk to your team. Thank you very much. See you guys.
And that's Maddie Beltwell with Coach Hartman, who is thrilled here today. And we're wrapping things up here on the broadcast. And, Coach, do you have any noteworthy stats over there that paint the picture of this game?
Well, I'm looking at Portland, and they have, for the second half, they have well over 200 yards. I'd say 250. And Windham had 98 yards second half, got most of it on the pass at the end. First downs tells the story, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Windham had 8 first downs in the game, and Portland had 25 first downs.
25 first downs.
That is a lot of first downs for a high school football game. That really is, and that shows you how they dominated the game with their possession-wise. They really did. I mean, you don't get 25 first downs if unless
you're winning that game. Yeah, you're going to win that game.
And so everything else I think has been covered pretty well. Touchdowns, we know who scored those. I would say that Portland's PAT kicker went.
He was perfect.
6 for 6,
and also on kickoffs too. He pinned. That was a big thing in this game as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap things up on here on the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA on ESPN 970 and also on Maine's Big Z. But before we do that, we want to thank all of our sponsors here today. Maine Athletic Fundraising, thanks for sponsoring the Game of the Week. Also, Moody's Collision Center, moodyscollision.com. Mechanics Savings Bank, they've been our broadcast booth sponsor. Also, Headlight Audio Visual. They allowed Maddie to roam the sidelines, so go check them out at 74 Evergreen Drive in Portland. And also Danielle's Sebago Diner, 862 Roosevelt Trail in Windham, and Maine Real Estate Connection, that also on Roosevelt Trail, 639 Roosevelt Trail in Windham. 42-21 is your score.
Also, not to cut you off, Aroma Joe's in Windham as well. Also, Maine Real Estate Network, mainrealestatenetwork.com.
Those are all of our sponsors. That's Maddie Beltwell, who's roaming the sidelines. Want to thank Joe Carpini for running our video stream and doing a great job with it. And also Coach Haley for being my partner here today. And also, I want to thank our producers from OXO and also for WZAN for hanging with us and putting together a great broadcast. 42-21 is your final here from Windham High School as Portland comes in and takes this one. We will now return you to normally programmed activities on Maine's Big Z and also ESPN Portland. We'll be back next week with the Game of the Week.